It's time for Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Quick pitch to Walter, looking for the record, cuts back, he's got it, he's out of it at 25 to the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher.
Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Chicago has won the Stanley Cup. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it, go to Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this House Music Monday edition. I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. Boy, we have a lot to talk about. I am fired up. I don't know if you guys, if you don't follow me on Facebook, what is your problem? You got to follow me on Facebook. All right, I was back at CrossFit today. I took a couple weeks off to just kind of relax, decompress, and man, I came back. I was back today. Boy, oh boy. Let me just tell you, if you hear cursing, like you stupid those are my forearms. All right. Those are my forearms you'll hear cursing in the background because my forearms are on fire today. Fire right now. They're on fire. All right. So wonderful day. I'm excited. We have a lot to talk about. And man, oh man, it's going to be fun. And we got a special announcement. And I am fired up to tell you about it, dude. I'm fired up. It's gonna be, but you gotta wait till almost the end of the show. 11 o'clock hours when we're gonna do it. And man, it's gonna be good. But listen, if you're watching this on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what are you doing? Go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago on Facebook. And listen, while you're there, for a goof, why not? All right. Just go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, their Facebook page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning's Facebook page. All right. And like that page as well. So now you're doing both. And you know what? If you're watching this on a YouTube channel, excellent. Excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, what? For my guy, the Chef Daddy himself. What? Come on. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago. Okay. Press the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe. And now guess what? Now you're following. Now you get Shawn and Maya 3 days a week. Now you get our other 6 live shows throughout the week. Okay, and they're all archived there. Perfect. So if you're and if you're watching us on the app, that is even more excellenter. That's an old phrase I just made up. More excellenter. And if you're watching this on the app, that is even more excellenter. And if you're not following or downloading the app, what are you doing? Stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to. All right, listen, go wherever you get your apps from. iTunes, Google Play, Walmart, Amazon, Kmart, 7-Eleven, JCPenney, wherever you get your apps from. All right, you type in Sports Zone Chicago. Okay, you type in Sports Zone Chicago. You download it. You take us with you on the go. Okay, so not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other 6 live shows throughout the week. All right, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, they are. Guess what? We have a slew of articles, and you can, and this is all courtesy of our guy, Clarence Council III. All right. So I'm telling you, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at SM. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking of my own show at Sports Zone Shy it's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. If you want to follow me, just me personally online. Okay. Let me tell you what I did. Want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. Here's what I did for you guys. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and soon to be TikTok. I know I'm over 30, so I shouldn't have a TikTok, but you got to do it for the show. At the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Kai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram, because you just do it just for the gram, you can follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Whew. My man is busy working back there, but I'm going to bring him out in a minute. He's my Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife, makes everything run smoothly here at Sports Zone Chicago. We're going to bring Ivan Vargas on in a second, but man, we got a whole bunch of stuff to do, and he's working, baby, working. He's working. All right. But man, oh man, let me just tell you, I'm fired up about this, about our news. And should I just tell him right now, Ivan, and then just kind of? Oh, he's busy doing something. He's busy doing something. Oh, hold on, player. Hold on, player. He just texted me. He's like, oh, Ivan said, no, damn it, we're not ready. Okay. All right. All right. So we'll relay it to you later. All right. But we have I just want to tell you, but I can't. I can't do it. Ivan said, no, we can't. All right. Got to listen to your producer. Got to do it. All right. Well, listen, guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
Just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Man, top of the morning segment. Man, I can't even tell you how fired up I am. All right, let's get right to it. The first top of the morning topic: the White Sox, baby. The White Sox fall. Fall to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, of Orange County, of wherever they're at. All right, 6-5 yesterday, losing 11 out of their last 13 games. Had a rally. Rally fell short. The White Sox scored 5 runs in the 9th inning, bringing 6-5. Had the bases loaded with 2 outs until Gavin Sheets. Until Gavin Sheets grounds out to the first baseman. Dallas Keuchel. He gets the loss. He's 1-3. Okay, he went 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 4 all earned, 5 walks. It's going to kill you. 5 walks and a strikeout. Tim Anderson. I can't. It gets so frustrating. But Tim Anderson, he went 3 for 5 with a ribby, his 8th of the season. Larry Garcia, he's 1 for 4 with a double, his 2nd double of the season, driving in his 2nd and 3rd runs of the campaign. Mr. Harrison, our new second baseman, Josh Harrison, he was 2 for 4 with his 3rd double of the season, driving in his 2nd run of the year. And Jose Abreu, the RBI king himself, he was 1 for 4, driving in his 7th ribby of the year. But too much, too little, too late. They could not, as you see here in the 9th inning, you just could not get a timely hit. Now, one of the things that I was really bugged about, and Gavin Sheets is up. All right, here you see Josh Harrison. Okay, there it is with a double. Double is Lori Garcia scoring. And my thing is this. Gavin Sheets, this is why the fundamentals are so important. See, here you go. You got Tim Anderson on the base pass. He drives home Harrison, and like, oh, the White Sox look like they're coming in. They're about doing something. They're about to do it. Okay. Lou Bob's up. Boop. He grounds out. No, I'm sorry. He beats this out. They showed it. They called him out. They reviewed it. Guess what? He was safe. He was safe. They called him safe. Perfect. After further review, great job. Grandal walks, bases loaded. All right, boom. Jose. Why does Jose keep getting hit? I don't know. But he got hit 6-5, and Gavin Sheets coming up could not. Hey, I'd be pissed too. I'd be pissed as well. So here you go. New reliever in. Gavin Sheets up. 2 outs. They have the shift on for him, and grounds out to the first baseman. Now, here my issue with that is this. Why are you not why are you not getting that ball to the right side of the field? Why? Okay? Why? That pisses me off. That is poor fundamental baseball. Okay? I understand Gavin Sheets is a power hitter. I understand he can end it with one swing. I get it. I understand the whole thing. But you got one guy on that side of the field. There's no way that if you bunt it down the third base line, he's going to get to the ball and be able to throw someone out at home or throw you out at first. Now we have a tie game. People call it small ball. It's not small ball. It's baseball. It's fundamentally sound. If you want to stack the deck in your favor on a defense and shift because this guy has a tendency, because your analytics say he's going to pull the majority of the time, okay, fine. Well, then you screw with them. Then you make them pay. And this is a thing that really bothers me. I don't give a damn who you are. You need to be able to bunt. This is a fundamental skill. It is a skill, which means you can work on it. You can get it better. You can be a better bunter if you work on it. It's like guys in the NBA who don't work on free throws. That's beyond me. How you don't work on everyone can't be at least an 80% free throw shooter. At least. People in Major League Baseball should be able to bunt. In situations like this. Because here's what happens. What if, because remember, the third baseman, well, it depends who's playing. If the third baseman is moved behind second base, or if it's the shortstop. But it doesn't matter. The guy has to play in the middle he has to play where the shortstop's playing. Otherwise, you have a wide open hole on the left side of the field. So if you lay down the bunt and he tries to throw you out at first and the ball runs away, guess what? You win. If you try to throw you out at home, it's going to be very difficult because the runner's going on contact and he has a long way to go to get to that ball. He might have to just put it in his pocket. Frustrating because this is what needs to be done and it wasn't done. In the era of long ball and exit velocity and all that other bullshit that has a whole bunch of nerds in sports, Tony should have made that call. And I'm sorry, gentlemen. I don't give a damn if you're a power hitter. I don't give a damn if it's 117-mile exit velocity that you can hit. I don't care. When a situation calls for a bunt, you should be able to bunt. End of story. End of story. Okay, the White Sox have lost 11 of the last 13 games. It is not pretty. All right, Dallas Keuchel yesterday there was a fight at the bat rack yesterday. They were trying to bat out of order. People were trying to get to the plate. They couldn't. Dallas had one good game. His last outing was good. So this outing sucked. So I'm not sure what the deal is. Are we going to be able to expect one good start, one bad start, one good start, one bad start? Is that how it's going to be? When is Lynn coming back? Because man, oh man, do we need him? Push Dallas' ass back down in the rotation. Because if you saw Vince Velasquez on Saturday, whoa, watch out, player. So we got two guys that we just can't trust. We don't know who's going to show up with Velasquez and Keuchel. Come on, Lynn, baby. Come on back. Hurry back. I know we can't hurry the process. I'm just being a Meathead Sox fan, missing him a lot. We're in dire straits. Lou Bob looked good yesterday, this weekend he's back. He popped a big home run on Saturday, which was unreal. Into the wind. The wind was blowing in at Sox Park. And he took that sucker opposite field. He took it to right center. That got out in a hurt moon. That shows you how powerful this kid is. He's coming back. Yohan Moncada, let me just say this. Yo-Yo is almost ready, baby. Almost ready. Yo-Yo was trying to find it. He started his rehab assignment already down in Charlotte. Okay. Yo-Yo started his rehab assignment down in Charlotte. He looks good. He had 2 hits yesterday. In his 2 games, he's 3 for 7 with a homer. Okay. So he should be back up any day they want. He'll be back up. He's got some work to do. Jake Berger has filled in more than admirably for him. Okay. Yo-Yo's got to step up. This is a big year for Yo-Yo. Bothersome to me a little bit because he just wasn't, in my opinion, he wasn't focused the way he needed to be. He wasn't focused the way he needed to be to start the season. And we've seen when Yoan is aggressive and attacks early in the count, he's had success. The defense is rock solid. That's a given. But him at the plate, the issue with Yo-Yo is he doesn't know what type of hitter he wants to be. Okay. Do you want to be a home run hitter? Okay. Your batting average will go down a little bit, but you're going to hit more bombs. Or do you want to be a guy who sprays it all over the field? Get on base, steal bases. Okay. There's 2 different ways to go, but you can't be both. Okay. You can't be both. I personally would like him to be a guy who sprays the ball all over the field. Rips it down the corner, down the line, right field line, left field line, right field gap, right center field gap, left center field gap, and get on your horse and run. Because first and foremost, you're going to catch a few. Summertime, Sox Park, you'll catch a few. You'll catch more than a few. And get on base. I need to see him run these bases. I need to see him stealing bases. You have Lou Bob, TA7, Yo-Yo. Hell, even a little Josh Harrison. Adam Engel can get out and scoot. These guys need to be on the bases. They need to be pushing. They need to be stealing. They need to be stressing a defense. But they're not doing it, and it's frustrating. Really, really frustrating. So, I don't know what the White Sox. I'm telling you, Tony La Russa is having a bad year. The White Sox finished up today a 1-10 game with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and you can split the series. You can split the series today. Is what we need from you guys. Because who's on the bump today? Dylan Cease is on the bump today. Look at that. Hopefully he ends the schneid and we break this 11 out of 13, but we also break the losing streak for series losing streaks. Not good for us right now. All right. 50 win today, split the series, 2 games apiece. I'll be happy. I'll be happy as we travel to the north side for the game tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday against the Cubs. And I'm scared to play those guys because the Cubs always play us well. But let me bring him in, man. He's the man who makes everything run smoothly over here at Sports Zone Chicago. He is my Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife, Ivan Vargas. Ivan, what's up, Papa? How are you?
I am chilling. What's up? Good morning. Good morning, everybody. White Sox, yeah, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. Cubs aren't doing too hot either, so don't get me wrong. It's like we're both limping into this series like, hey, it's like 2 tired-ass dudes. Like they meet at the, 2 tired-ass boxers are meeting at the center of the ring, and they're all hugging each other at the end of the fight, like before the last round. That's kind of how I feel the White Sox and the Cubs are about right now, just kind of struggling struggling to get by, especially on the South side. It's rough, especially when you have those type of expectations.
Expectations kill us, dude. You're right. You're right. They my issue is that this is why there's a couple things. One, they're injured. They have some injuries. Okay, that's a big issue. Two, it seems like there's a lack of fun had by the players. Okay, they're not having. This is not the same exciting old White Sox that we've seen the last couple of years, especially last year. All right, or 2 years ago, especially when you had their former manager, and it's more work like, and I think they're having an issue with it.
Press
Okay?
the wrong buttons. No, I think you're right. I think it's not as loose and free as it was with Ricky. Although I don't think Ricky was going to be the guy either. I think the handcuffing of Rick Hahn, by whether it was by Jerry by himself or by Jerry and Kenny, whatever it was, it completely set things off course, right? Guys were thinking things were going one way, and then all of a sudden, you get Old Man River. And I mean, granted, I want to give Tony all the opportunity he can, but I think the opportunity has been given, and he continues to fail, and he continues to embarrass the White Sox. I think time's up.
Yeah, you know what? Here's one thing that I don't like. I don't like the changing of the lineups. All right, you get a guy 1 through 9, okay? Because we got the DH. There should be 1, maybe 2 changes a day. Okay, it only should be. Yasmani is a DH, or if Reese McGuire is a DH, or if Gavin Sheets is a DH. I mean, there shouldn't be a lot of movement. The positions should be set. Okay, positions should be set, and then and the reason I say you should have 1 or 2, because here's where Lurie comes in. Lurie's going to give people rest in the infield and the outfield. All right, and those are Yo-Yo's going to be at third when he comes back. TA is going to be at short. Harrison at second, Abreu at first. Okay, figure out who's in right. Lou Bob's back in center. Vaughn's in left. Good. So Vaughn, Lou Bob, and whoever you want in right. AJ Pollock is back. I'm not mistaken. So AJ Pollock's back. So we got AJ Pollock, Lewis Robert, okay, and Vaughn. That's your outfield. Period. End of story. TA at short, Harrison at second, Abreu at first. Okay, Berger at third for now. Period. End of story. Maybe you want to change the catcher? Okay. You want to put McGuire in? You leave McGuire in for defensive purposes, Yaz for at DH, or you can put Yaz at catcher and put McGuire at DH. It doesn't matter. Okay, that needs to be lineup needs to be set. Period. All this nonsense of changing the lineup every day, getting players out of position. There's certain things in baseball that as time goes on, they still remain constant. And being steady, having a consistent lineup, that remains constant for good teams. That remains constant for good teams. Let me bring in my guy. Came in with us a little late, but I definitely want to hear what he's got to say. Our man, Joseph Phillips. Joseph, what's up, Papa? How are you?
What's up, Papa? Hey, what's going on, man? Why y'all didn't send me the link, man? What's going on, man?
Talk about it later, bro.
It's been 3 days.
Well, you don't know how to return. You don't know how to return a text. I text you twice, bro. I text you yesterday. I text you last week.
When you text me, bro?
I'll text you.
Y'all trying to block me out because the Sox been losing?
I'll tell you.
You don't want to hear my mouth?
No, it had nothing to do with that, bro.
I'm your only opposition, Shawn. If you kick me off the show, then everybody else will be in agreement with you.
Dude, no one's kicking you off the show. What are you talking about?
Every now and then, you're going to have Ivan on your side, and then you're going to have Maya. She's always on your side. And then, Dr. Phil, y'all buddies. So I'm like your only opposition, man. If you get rid of me, then it's going to be,
Can we talk sports, or you want to talk nonsense?
What you say? You'd rather have a world where everybody in agreement.
No, that's not it at all. Doing, I'm doing good. So since you want to go there, I've texted you Monday, March 21st, Wednesday, April 6th, Monday, April 18th, Tuesday, April 19th, Wednesday, April 20th, and then Tuesday.
When was this? Like,
I
you
just
must
told
text
you.
my
I
old
just told
phone.
you.
You
I
text
just
my
told
old
you.
phone. It's all
Well,
good. But I got an email. I know y'all saw my emails because y'all journalists. I know y'all know how to read. So stop playing games. But
No,
it's
I
all
didn't- I
good.
didn't
Hold
my
on,
email.
Joseph. Hold on, Joseph. You're in the middle of a classroom. We're running a sports show. Don't you have
I
a job
can't
to
even
do?
see you.
Don't you have a
Ivan, I
job to
can't
do?
even see you. You're blacked out.
Don't you have a
Where are
job
you?
to do, Joseph? Don't you have a job to do? You're in the middle of a classroom. That's
Oh,
why that's why we're not.
I can't see you, Ivan. You're blacked
Yeah,
out.
and
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you. I'm glad you guys.
It's not the time. We'll deal with this.
you, Joseph.
I can't
We'll
see
stop
him,
this.
and I can't hear him either.
Stop it. Hey,
Yeah.
so we talked about the White Sox. White Sox with a 6-5 loss yesterday. They had bases loaded, losing it, couldn't come through, scored 5 runs in the ninth, weren't able to get the game tying run. Your thoughts on the White Sox?
Well, what you guys are currently dealing with a lot of inconsistency in the lineup. I noticed with a lot of the changes that are taking place, you got a lot of guys, that's normally in spots, but I see Tony La Russa is doing a lot of changes. So I guess it's hurting you guys long term. And right now, y'all look good on paper, but I guess in reality, the production is not on the field.
Injuries are a part. I also think that the Tony La Russa is not his changing of the lineups on a consistent basis is not good. All right, I think that you got to get people in a consistent spot. Keep them where they belong. AJ Pollock is back. He needs to stay in right. Lou Bob's in center. Andrew Vaughn's in left. Keep that the way it is. Anderson is short. Harrison is second. Abreu at first. Berger until Yo-Yo comes back. Berger at third. Leave those guys. Put them in the same spot on the field. Put them in the same spot in the lineup, and have it consistent. The constant changing of things is giving people an issue with people. Okay, and I think it's messing. You just can't, because you don't know where you're going to be every day, and that's an issue for me, and I'm very, very pissy about that. Not happy at all with. I'm not happy at all with that.
Well, you guys probably get back on track with the Cubs today because
tomorrow.
Yeah, well, tomorrow exactly. So, I don't think we're going to be any factor when it comes to matching up with you guys, other than the two teams being a crosstown rival. But I think y'all have our number this year because from top to bottom, like I said, Nicky two strikes, he's not producing at the level that we thought he'll produce. We moved Rivas into the leadoff position. I think he's one of the most consistent hitters in our lineup. And then also with Seiya Suzuki, he's making his adjustments right now.
Well, you guys have a better record than us. You're 9-13. We're 8-13. So, I don't see.
Hey, see, this is the problem, Joseph, because you got a job.
Ivan,
you got a fucking job to do. You got a fucking job. You got a fucking job to do, and now
Ivan, dude.
No, that's bullshit. He thinks somebody's blacking him out. That's fucking. He's full of shit.
Ivan, we'll talk about this later.
Yeah, fuck you, Joseph.
All right. This is, guys, we apologize. I apologize. That can't happen. I'm sorry, gentlemen. I apologize. I don't know what the situation is. I don't. I am so sorry. We got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we have more top of the morning topics. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. The Bears have released quarterback Nick Foles, the former Super Bowl MVP, looking for a new home after 2 years. He made 8 starts over 2 seasons with Chicago. He was originally expected to compete with Mitchell Trubisky for the starting position. The Angels beat the White Sox 6-5. Mike Trout homered, doubled, and scored 3 runs. Sox starter Dallas Keuchel had a tough 5 innings, giving up 4 runs on 6 hits and 5 walks.
Rivas heading to the plate. He will score. Run-scoring double. Seiya Suzuki. Cubs lead 2-0.
The call on the Cubs radio network in Sunday's 2-0 win at Milwaukee. Marcus Stroman tossed a 2-hit ball over 7 innings, out-pitching Cy Young Award winner Corbin Burns. Patrick Wisdom homered as the Cubs ended a 4-game losing skid. Stroman struck out 5 and walked 1. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
It's Macy's Friends and Family with an extra 30% off special gifts from top designers just in time for Mother's Day when you use your coupon or Macy's card. And take 15% off fragrances, skincare, makeup, and more great gift ideas. Going on now at Macy's. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up today at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the Morning on Sports Zone Chicago on this House Music Monday edition. We're back in our middle of our segment.
Baby.
Back in the middle of the segment in our top of the morning segment, and the next top of the morning segment, and we'll go through this one quickly because we have a good one to go. Your Cubs beat the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday in Brewtown 2-0. Marcus Stroman got the win. He's 1-3 on the season. He went 7 innings, 2 hits. 2 hits, 1 walk, 5 punch outs. Robertson gets the save. He went 1 1/3 inning. Okay, 1 1/3 inning, no hits, no runs, a walk, and 3 punch outs. Suzuki 1 for 4, hit his 6th double, drove in his 15th run of the season. And Patrick Wisdom was 1 for 4, hitting his 4th homer of the season, driving in his 14th ribby of the year. Good win for the Cubs yesterday up in Brewtown as they prepared to host the White Sox tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And shout out to Seiya Suzuki for getting off the snide after going 0 for 15 in his last 3 games. That was a clutch RBI double. Definitely made a difference in the game. Also, the Patrick Wisdom with the occasional home run or the long bomb, which was needed in the 2-0 shutout victory. And Marcus Stroman, I think this was his best pitch game since joining the Cubs, because since he's joined us, he's been a lot of talk. You know, he hasn't really given us the, that type of money that he's been producing. He hasn't given us that performance that we've been looking for. So after like 3 or 4 starts, he's finally got one of his best starts of the season under his belt. And also it was his birthday. So shout out to him for holding down a tough Brewers lineup who pretty much dominated us throughout the series.
Yeah, good win yesterday for you guys. You got the day off today. As I said, as you prepare to host us starting tomorrow, the 2-game set. Again, I'm not a big fan of this 2-game set stuff. Remember it used to be in June, and then July used to be a weekend series. I don't know why Major League Baseball has done away with that with the Sox Cubs weekend series. I don't know what the situation is. But it stinks. It really does. I really like the 3-game sets, and I do. And it's not it sucks. And in the middle of the week too, it's like, come on, the weather's bad. If the weather was bad on the weekends, we'd still get a good crowd. Here, you're still, even though it's May, The weather could still be a factor, like it's been the last couple of days. I just don't understand Major League Baseball's reasoning for putting the crosstown in the middle of the week. Doesn't make sense to me.
Right. So, well, this should be a good series coming up tomorrow. So hopefully, one of our teams can get off the schneid.
Yeah. Well, I'm not worried. I'm not so confident it's going to be mine. I just, unfortunately, Joseph, I don't like the way that they're playing. I understand injuries are an issue, but we dealt with injuries last year. All right, injuries has nothing to do with Tim Anderson bobbling, bobbling a routine ground ball. Injuries have nothing to do with Jake Berger fumbling a chopper to third. Injuries have nothing to do with Jose Abreu catching a ball at first. These things have nothing to do with injury. All it has to do with is the mental aspect of it when you are not prepared. And I'm telling you, I didn't like what I've seen from these guys. All right, I don't feel like they're playing with a sense of urgency. I don't feel like the White Sox, feel like they're in pursuit of a championship. I believe that I feel, and this is my eye test. I feel they think they're going to win the AL Central again and go on to and represent the American League and win the American League pennant. Guess what? It doesn't work that way. That's why you play 162. And it's bothering me because I don't see that fire. I don't see that passion. I don't see that sense of urgency. And to me, that's going to be their downfall. And then you pile on the injuries, and then you pile on horrible starts like with Dallas Keuchel and Vince Velasquez. You don't know what you're going to get from them. This is not a good recipe for success. And you people can, and some of my Sox fans like, oh, don't worry, it's so early. No, I agree, it's early, but it's not. If they're playing good baseball and still lost, I'd say, guess what? It's early. They're not playing good baseball. And the more then this is going to fester, and this is going to affect the rest of the team because Tony, I don't know what Tony's doing, but he needs to put his foot down. He needs to put his foot down and say, you got to stop playing. Stop joking around. Stop playing around. This is serious business. And we're here to win a championship, but I don't see you guys focused like you're trying to win a championship. Tony needs to get he needs to get old school Tony and get in people's faces, get some people upset, get some people mad, and ask to be traded.
That's right.
And this is why, Joseph. This is why last year I said Ozzie was the guy for this job, and this is why baseball sucks because the middle management runs baseball. They send down. They make decisions for the field. That's why they don't have Ozzie. They're not going to get Ozzie because one, Ozzie's going to say what he wants.
Right.
Ozzie's going to make his lineup card, and you're not going to have a say in it if you're in the front office. And that's not how Ozzie runs things. And it's unfortunate because you have this type of team. You have a manager who and everybody knows will get the best out of it. There's no language barrier. There's nothing lost in translation. Guess what? Ozzie's the kind of a guy he'll give it to you straight. And if players can't take it straight, guess what? Then you're going to have to grow the hell up. If you can't, you're getting 40, 50, 80, $100 million and you can't take criticism, you need to grow the hell up. And that's what Ozzie's going to give them. You haven't done jack. You want a silver slugger. Great. You want a gold glove. Great. Is that why you play baseball, to win a silver slugger or a gold glove? Or is it to win the World Series? What's the issue? Why do you play the game?
Right. So here's the deal. Like I said, y'all got everything laid out on paper from top to bottom. There should be no excuses. Who would you put the sole blame on far as when it comes to this team disappointment?
Tony.
Not the players.
Listen, Tim Anderson, you have errors, you sit down. Sit down a game or two. Okay? Get your head in the game. All right? If you have consistent errors, if you're not playing to your potential, then it's my job as a manager to sit you down. It's my job as a manager to make sure you're ready. All right? Because if it was just all the players, because yes, honestly, at the end, when it's all said and done, the players do have to perform. But if it's just up to the players, then you don't need a manager. This is what the manager's for. The manager is for what he's for is to get the best out of players. And he's also got to bring them down a couple notches if they're a little too high on themselves. All right, and that's where this White Sox team is. They're a little too high on themselves right now, and they're getting kicked in the mouth, and they don't know how to react. They don't. These are many younger players have been the best at their in their team, in their high school, in their country, and their national team, wherever. Eloy was one of the best players coming out of Dominican Republic. Yo-Yo was the number one prospect in minor league baseball. All right, Lou Bob was even a better prospect than him. So you got a whole bunch of guys who haven't had failure in a while, and they're not learning. They don't know how to handle it, and you can't criticize it because then they're going to go cry mom and suck their thumb because someone's being mean to them. So this is a man's game, and right now they're not acting like men. They're acting like little brats, and it's bothering me big time.
Yeah, it's time for them to grow up, and like you said, the spotlight's been on them for the past 2 years. And this team is a World Series of bust team, and I pretty much predicted them to win the World Series this year. Maybe they just getting off to a bad start in April. Hopefully, when May, which starts actually this week against the Cubs, maybe this will be y'all turnaround. Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see. Well, let's move on because I'm already heated, and that's gonna keep it up. The next topic, morning topics: the NFL draft concluded on Saturday, and let me tell you, it was interesting to say the least. The Bears ended up having 11 draft picks. Ryan Poles traded back a couple of times. I don't know what to say. All right, in his first two picks, Ryan Poles selected a cornerback, Kyler Gordon out of Washington. His second pick in the second round was Jaquan Brisker, safety. Strong safety out of, he could play both, but safety out of Penn State. Then with the third round pick, he goes wide receiver, Velus Jones from Tennessee. He bypasses one of the more polished receivers in the second round to get this guy who's a great returner, but not necessarily a polished receiver. Then Braxton Jones, offensive lineman in the fifth, Dominique Robinson in the fifth, D lineman from Miami, Ohio. He's more of a project. He was a quarterback. A receiver and a quarterback, and then he just switched recently. In the sixth round, he's Zach Thomas, lineman from San Diego. Treston Ebner, running back from Baylor. Why am I saying they were in Vegas? Running back from Baylor, and Doug Kramer, center from Illinois. So here's going to get some more offensive linemen. Seventh round, Tyree Carter, offensive lineman from Southern from HBCU. Elijah Hicks, safety from Cal. And the seventh, his last pick, he takes Trenton Gill, a punter from North Carolina State. So these are the draft picks, and I don't know. I give it a B. I give it a B.
A B? Yeah, I agree. I think he actually, you know what? This team needs a rebuild. Okay. So it's either two options he had. He was either going to take the cheap way out, which is, like he was saying, draft an offensive lineman to protect Justin Fields, get a nice receiver, and, give him a few weapons to work with. But that wasn't going to solve the end all, So what he did was best long-term for the team. He kind of tried to, address every position, in addition to listening to his coach and Coach Eberflus, who wants to build his defense from his foundation in his image, in his likeness, and get guys in here that's ready to play. I was listening to some of the calls, how the GM called the players and, tell them that they've been drafted. One of the guys is actually in tears. That's what I want to see. He actually wanted to be here. He was so happy that the Bears drafted him. He was in tears. And it's just like Coach Eberflus said, at the end of the day, you want guys in here that's going to give 100%. You don't want the guys in here that's going to give half effort or worried about their contract status or trying to build their stats up. You want guys in here that's going to play to win. And then also, we can't really judge Ryan Poles right now because when was the last time we had a Super Bowl winner? You see what I mean? We need to just let him do his job, step back, and just let him build this thing,
Like I said, I'd give him a B, maybe a B plus, but you know what? You didn't address the wide receiver issue. Okay, you had some other top-notch receivers that I feel would have been helpful to Justin, and you didn't do it. All right, people are talking about Velus Jones, and Velus Jones is a decent receiver, but he's a slot guy. All right, don't get me wrong, this dude is unbelievably fast. He ran 4.3 at the combine. Okay, and you see it on tape. It translates to the field. It translates to the tape. All right, but I need a receiver. All right, I need a guy. Unless this guy is the next coming of Tyreek Hill, which I don't see, and I could be wrong, but I needed a wide receiver. I would have been more because Justin Fields needs a playmaker. Okay, this guy has gone from USC to Tennessee, so he's got a decent resume. Okay, but Alex Pierce was available. Okay, Pickens was available, and you bypassed him.
Okay. You know what, Shawn? I think they were salty that Green Bay jumped up and took Christian Watson. And once Paul seen that, he took his alternative route. Because originally, like he said before the draft, he said, we're going to let the receivers come to us. So Green Bay, because they know we bringing heat, we're going to be bringing that heat to them pretty soon. Just to show you that they know we sniffing down their necks. They start making trades to jump up in the draft. Easy, like a lot of trades. They made consistent trades. And then Minnesota, who pretty much hate our guts because we took Ryan Poles from them. What did they do in Vikings fashion? They make the trade with Green Bay with the number, what's that, 33 pick in the second round, 34 pick in the second round, so that they can jump up ahead of the Bears to take Christian Watson. So they were in cahoots with each other. I didn't like it, but guess what? I think our guy was Christian Watson, and I think when Poles didn't see that guy, he went defense.
Still, my issue is this, and I'm starting to watch Poles a little more. Okay, and here's why. Watch what people do and not what they say. Okay, because we just came from a general manager who said he's going to pick a quarterback every year. Okay, that didn't happen. Right. This is a guy who said he's going to get help for Justin Fields, and that. I mean, okay, he wasn't specific, but he said he was going to get help. We're thinking wide receiver. Okay. And don't give me, you got a whole bunch of guys at the end of the draft. How often do 6th and 7th rounders, all right, especially linemen, make a team? All right. So you wasted a lot of picks on offensive linemen. You can't keep them all. Okay, so it's bothersome that he didn't go get a stud receiver. Okay, and according to this, I haven't forgotten that Tyreek Hill came in the league. It took him about 3 or 4 years to get to where it is he wants to go. All right, but I don't see the movement. He doesn't have he might have the speed like Tyreek Hill. I don't know if he's as fast, but it's like Tyreek Hill. But his lateral movement isn't very Tyreek Hillish at all. Okay, his lateral movement. He is. Don't get me wrong. I like what Velus Jones brings to the Bears.
Right.
Okay. I'm not disappointed. It's the first or second, one of those 2 second-round picks. I feel should have been a wide receiver, a big guy on the corner. Okay, and a straight outside guy who can run the route tree and who can go get the ball, right? Because what happens is, there's going to be times, and for every quarterback, it's not just Justin Fields, where you get flushed from the pocket and you have a jump ball.
Right.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers had a guy, Devontae Adams. He doesn't have him anymore. So here's my thought. Everyone talks about defense. Well, if you don't stop anybody, you can't win. Valid point. Let me ask you this: for all those people who say that, is this defense going to be better than the 06 defense, the Lovey's defense with Urlacher, Briggs, Tillman, Tommy Harris? Is it going to be better than that, Hunter Hillenmeyer? Is it going to be better than that defense? Probably not.
Nah.
Okay. So is it going to be better than the 2018 defense led by Vic Fangio? We're talking with Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, Eddie Goldman, Kyle Fuller, Roquan Smith. Is it going to be better than that defense? Probably not. So guess what? Those defenses couldn't stop Aaron Rodgers either. Those defenses had a problem with Aaron Rodgers. So my thought is, if you continue to do that, focus on defense, and Aaron Rodgers is still going to kill you, it's still gonna most likely going to have success with you, then guess what? Then let's try and hit focus on the other side of the ball. Because right now we can't win a shootout with anybody. And we damn sure ain't winning a shootout with Green Bay. And guess what? Green Bay got weaker. Green Bay got weaker. They got rid of Devontae Adams. They got rid of Martez Valdez-Scantling. They got rid of Equinemius St. Brown, although he wasn't much of a contributor. But his top two receivers are gone. So they're weaker, which I don't know how much weaker. Now you got Christian Jones and you got Romeo Doubs from Nevada in the draft. So he seems weaker right now. So why not try and be able to go in a shootout with him? Because if the defense, here's what's going to happen. Your defense is going to be awesome. Get the ball back for us to offense to do what?
Right. But I think Poles is thinking long term, Shawn. Like he said, he's not going to rush it. I think he made a good decision by not signing that defensive tackle to a long-term deal who medical records came back negative when we thought he was going to be one of the best tackles in the league, but at the end of the day he couldn't pass a physical. So if he's making great decisions like that, I trust him with this team. I think he'll do a better job than Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy. I think that because he won a Super Bowl before with the Kansas City Chiefs, he knows how to build a team from the ground up. And then also, he's not a dictator. He's actually listening to the guys in the room. And I think this year is a year of evaluation for his scouts because these are not his scouts. You got to remember that, Shawn. Okay? Also, next year, he may be able to bring in his scouting team because this year you still got some scouts left over from Nagy's era.
And those scouts are good. Those scouts are fine because they keep getting guys who are in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round. I get it.
Yeah, but are they better than the scouts that he wants to bring in? That's the question. You see what I mean?
But they have a track record of getting quality players in the late rounds.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see, because I think he's going to move on from most of these scouts. I think he's going to bring in his own boys. He's trying to get them a chance. He's like, hey, this is a prove-it deal. Y'all got 1 year to see if you guys can really evaluate talent. These guys that we're bringing in, this will probably be the last class of Nagy scouts drafting or helping him draft because he can't have his eyes everywhere. You see what I mean? So he has to be able to trust them to make the decisions to put this team in the successful, to be successful long term. So I believe, this is just my opinion, okay, that after this year, a lot of the scouts that you see making decisions now, they probably be moving on to another job because he probably get rid of some guys and bring in his own guys that he really wants to use and evaluate the talent how he wants to evaluate the talent.
I'm telling you what, I'm still not happy with the receivers. And Kingly Man says, Venus Jones Jr., Velus Jones, and Ebner are playmakers. And they got some bid bodies in UDA, undrafted free agents. Yeah. You know what? Guys, I didn't give it a C. I didn't give it a D or F. I gave it a B. Okay. If you address listen, from year 1 to year 2, that's when a quarterback makes a quarterback makes their biggest jump. Okay. The quarterback makes the biggest jump. Why not have, and you're expecting Justin Fields to take a bigger jump, give him that stud receiver. Give him a guy who knows how to be the guy. Give him, whether it was Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce knew he was a man in Cincinnati. Okay. George Pickens, he knew he was a man at Georgia.
Right.
These are guys who are used to this. And undrafted free agents, okay. We have to trust them. We have no other choice. All right. You're talking about big bodies. All right, you're talking about they brought in a guy from Southern. They brought in a couple of other guys, and I'm trying to find the list I have, because the list that I have was oh goodness, I had a list of the free agent watch. I mean the undrafted free agents, and I hear you, but give me that dude that knows that he knows and everybody else knows is that dude. Because if you want Justin to take this big leap, you know, I don't know, man. I'm not happy with the lack of a stud number one receiver. I'm not happy. And you had a chance to do it. Getsy had some say. Maybe. I would say he would, but here's the thing. If you look at Getsy's receivers, Getsy's huge. Getsy's all his receivers in Green Bay are 6'2" and above.
Right. And maybe this is giving other guys a chance to step up too, Shawn. You know, like remember, look, Darnell Mooney, he's a good receiver, but he hasn't reached the Pro Bowl status yet, you know? So maybe this is an opportunity to give these guys the offense to step up, you know? Maybe that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to make these guys earn their money. And I don't mind guys being hungry at these positions because nobody's on the team other than who? Pringle. He has a Super Bowl ring, correct?
Yeah.
And who else? A couple of guys. It's a couple of more guys on the team. Pose, I know he got a Super Bowl ring. It's a lot of guys that got on. They were role players. Bottom line, what I'm saying is that Justin Fields may not be their guy. You never know. You see what I mean? You don't know. They're not really committed to him, Shawn. I'm just being honest. Like they know that Matt Nagy moved up, gave up 2 draft picks to get to him, but that's probably something Ryan Poles wouldn't have done. So even Justin Fields is on the clock. You see what I mean? So
they wouldn't have got the job if they didn't believe Justin Fields was the dude.
But guess what? People say anything to get a job, Shawn. Okay.
No, I understand. I understand you on that point. But what I'm saying is, you know, you got to make it work because you can't come in. This is the guy that they traded capital for. All right, this is the guy. So,
but Justin Fields wanted the receiver Jones. He
did not. No, he did not. Okay,
he said they watched film.
No, okay. Listen, don't be that dude. I'm going to tell you exactly what was said. Okay? And you have to understand how people have to listen. People hear what they want to hear. This is exactly what was said. The question was asked by Hub Arkish. If you allow quarterbacks, they said, you know what? Unfortunately I got to run. We got to take a break. But I'll tell you this.
All right.
He said he watched film. He was on the tape. He didn't say Justin asked for him. He didn't say Justin requested him. He said he was on the list of wide receivers that we were looking at. That's all he said. And then a whole bunch of other people like, oh, Justin said he wanted Jones. And this. He never said that. People hear what they want to hear. He said specifically, because I listened to it 3 or 4 times and quoted it. He said, he was on the tape. He was there. Brother Jones is there. No, I'm not, but I'm just trying to give you the quote. So, it wasn't just that. Hey, Joseph, we got to let you go, brother. Thanks a lot.
Tell Ivan, don't let me get in his head and get under his skin like that again. All right?
Joseph, we'll talk about it later, bro.
All right.
Talk about it later. All right, later. Hey, we got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, my man Ken Davis is going to come on, and he's going to go with Ivan because I have to be gone for a half hour, but I'll be back right around 10:30 to join you because I have a lot. I mean, Ken, and I want to hear his thoughts on this draft and everything else. But listen, on the other side of the break, Ken Davis is going to be back with my man Ivan Vargas out here on Shawn and Maya in the morning. So don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here on Sports Zone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. The Bears have released quarterback Nick Foles, the former Super Bowl MVP looking for a new home after 2 years. He made 8 starts over 2 seasons with Chicago. He was originally expected to compete with Mitchell Trubisky for the starting position. The Angels beat the White Sox 6-5. Mike Trout homered, doubled, and scored 3 runs. Sox starter Dallas Keuchel had a tough 5 innings, giving up 4 runs on 6 hits and 5 walks.
Rivas heading to the plate. He will score. Run-scoring double. Seiya Suzuki. Cubs lead 2-0.
The call on the Cubs radio network and Sunday Sunday's 2-0 win at Milwaukee. Marcus Stroman tossed a 2-hit ball over 7 innings, out-pitching Cy Young Award winner Corbin Burns. Patrick Wisdom homered as the Cubs ended a 4-game losing skid. Stroman struck out 5 and walked 1. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
It's Macy's Friends and Family with an extra 30% off special gifts from top designers just in time for Mother's Day when you use your coupon or Macy's card. And take 15% off fragrances, skincare, makeup, and more great gift ideas. Going on now at Macy's. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up today at Macy's.com/Star Rewards. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
A lot these days about quarterbacks wanting to be aware of, if not involved in some personnel decisions. Have you been in touch with Justin at all the last couple of days to keep him up to speed as to what you're trying to do?
Yeah, we actually watched tape together this past weekend, and he was on. Jones was on there too, on the list. So we watch players, and I want to be able to communicate with my quarterback so he understands from me, kind of the direction we're going and what we're looking at, and he should be, he's the trigger man. Like, he's got the ball in his hand. He should be a part of that.
What do you look at it all for any of his Ohio State guys?
Yeah, constantly. No, he's actually really cool. He just takes it all in.
What's that back and forth like with him, and what kind of input does he give when you guys are together in that regard?
Yeah, Justin's like a really good listener. So he takes it in, and if there's any questions of why or anything like that, it's easy conversation. He's easy to.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm the man that don't give a damn, Ivan Vargas. Sorry about that beginning. Like I said, I'm not going to be falsely accused of anything. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get things rolling here. We're going to go ahead and bring in our guy. You know him. He's the host of the Under Center podcast, the one and only Ken Davis. What's up, Ken?
What's going on over here?
I'm chilling. I love life. No, just some nonsense that I'm not going to handle. I don't like being falsely accused of things that's kind of serious and kind of personal. It's like, I don't like that. I'm not gonna.
If it's personal, I'll stay out. I'm not
gonna bypass it, and I'm not gonna address it. So we're gonna go ahead and stick to this script. We're gonna stick to this.
Let's keep it moving. I want no parts of this business.
Anyway, the draft has passed. The Chicago Bears went ahead and got a slew of draft picks. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front. I was disappointed. I wanted offense. If it were going to be staggered as offense, defense, I would have been okay with. I would have been happy with it. But doubling up on defense, it hurt my soul. And on top of seeing Christian Watson go to the Green Bay Packers.
Ooh.
I'm over it. I'm open to the idea. These guys are they're athletic. They look like they're angry, and they look like they love football. So I'm open to the idea of these guys being very solid contributors to this football team. How did you take the draft on both days, except Friday and Saturday?
Well, that Christian Watson pick burned my side, to say the least. I want to slam my computer. That one really aggravated me. And then it was funny because then when we did the Under Center show, AB took a stab at me and was like, well, before the show, at least you get to see your guy more during the season. It was like, all right, damn you, Alex. And it's like, dirty pool. Yeah, it was like, but man, and again, listen, and I said this on TTNL that day because I came in hot and I was like, I'm being biased and irrational. I'm a fanatic. I can do that. I can sit here and say, I want this. I want tangibles. When I was saying it, I kept saying the kid could be a bust. This is what I want. So yeah, I wasn't pleased, but I think Gordon and Brisker was sweet, to be honest with you. Like I think the value on them, I'll put it like this. Christian Watson wasn't there for the Bears to draft. One. So, and I didn't think, none of us thought they were going to move up and give up picks. So it's even different. Now, I hoped that Pierce would have fell in the third. A lot of mock drafts had him in the third. But when that run on the receivers went, when Pickens, Pierce, and Moore went, what was there to be done at that point? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure they probably would have looked at those guys as guys that they may have thought about going for in the third, like they did with Velus Jones. You know what I'm saying? Where if those guys were there, perhaps those would have been the guys that they would have picked up. I thought the first three picks, I like the first three picks. The rest of them we'll see. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you. Because I can see the first three picks playing right away. You know what I'm saying? And Brisker, Jones, and Gordon, I can see them playing right away. I still think they need to add X receiver out there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know where you're going to get them. You know what I'm saying? At this point in free agency, perhaps some vet will be cut loose that doesn't want to restructure his contract. I like the fact that they got so many bites at the apple. To be honest with you, like on a team that has so many holes, to sit there and try to infuse it again in a pandemic year where some of these guys probably would have been 5th round picks if they came out last year or whenever. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was a cool draft. I didn't get the things that I wanted, but I'm not paid to necessarily pick out what happens with this team. And I think one thing we can hang our hats on is this defense will be intriguing. I still wonder what they're going to do with the 3 technique. I wonder, and this is just a wondering, me talking out loud, I wonder, does this hint to the chance that perhaps there will be a reunion with Larry Ogunjobi from them not filling in the 3 technique with a draft pick? Again, not to say it'll happen, but he hasn't been signed anywhere, and there's still money to be had. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else is coming to get him. But I'm with you. I would have preferred to see Christian Watson in the Bears uniform. If I would have got Christian Watson, you couldn't tell me jack for the rest of this night. You couldn't tell me nothing, boy, nothing. And he could come and have concentration drops and all, and I'd still be like, I wanted him. And now his chances of succeeding have improved dramatically because one of the greatest quarterbacks ever is going to be throwing him the ball and needs him. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to burn my side to watch him. But hopefully, and I'll say this secondary, think about this too. Now you got Green Bay, regardless of who's at quarterback, regardless of who's at receiver, you know he's going to get the receivers the ball. Regardless of who's at quarterback, you know he's going to get the receivers the ball. You got the talented tandem in Minnesota. You know, you got receivers now with DJ Shark and with Jameson Williams in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need to be able to lock these cats up. You know what I'm saying? And the Bears, it's not the AFC West just yet. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, man, we got to get our defense up because of these offenses. But I thought that Ryan Post had a really solid draft for his first draft out, to be honest with you. And I thought it was refreshing to see the scouts come out and talk and to let them take center stage and to give them the opportunity, one, to be seen, but the opportunity is one that may get them someplace else. I don't know, Gustavo, with Landry being a slot guy and them basically having the slot guys right now, if they would go get Landry.
And I agree. I agree with you, Ken. Letting and I agree with Nomad too. Letting them just kind of play out. Let's see how they go through the
We
season.
don't know how this is gonna work.
Yeah, we don't know how it's going to work. And our initial disappointment stems from just we want to see offense. Now, Shawn had a solid point about defense, even though I believe the defense was getting older, and I think addressing that youth movement there is smart. Like I'm not going to knock it. It just we've seen this story play out before, where we have a solid defense, and then all of a sudden, like something goes wrong. Like they still get outmatched by an offense that could just put up numbers, and we just don't have the offense to keep pace. You know, I mean, there's sometimes
this isn't the year though, Ivan.
I understand that, but
we can't come here like we got all our weapons and we're rebuilding. I'm with you, but it's like
if it was just the fact that if it were two offensive players, that's all I'm saying. But like I said, I'm not bitter about it. Like I'm over that frustration because of the skill set that these two players have, or the three players, Velus Jones, Brisker, and Gordon bring. Like when you slow down and you push your, I guess, my selfishness aside, these guys can compete right here, right now, and start. And not only start because we have a limited roster, but start because they have talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and listen, we got to stop thinking that we all want victories and not to be bored this year. But this isn't the year. All right, we should the next season after free agency and after the draft. Then we need to start getting angry. You know what I'm saying? If we go into next year in free agency and there's not, even if one of these receivers pops this undrafted guy, we still need to fortify the passing game. And that can be through with another tight end or another receiver. But we're at the beginning stages of all this, man. We're at the very beginning of all this. So we got to wait and see how it goes. I think it's straight. You know what I'm saying? Listen, my guy was gone, to be honest with you. So the rest of those guys, it would have looked good on paper.
You know why
my guy was gone.
You know why it hurt, Ken? Because they came in like a cheese cobra. They came in like a dagger through the back door and just boom over. Like just if he was there at 39, I think it's a different story. I really think Christian Watson is a really good talent. But it is what it is.
If they didn't take it.
But it's because of the Packers. It's because of the Packers. It hurts. Because of the Packers, it hurts.
Because one, you're so on point. The fact of how it was set up, it was almost set up at that point like he could fall to them because the other teams you worried about either they didn't need receivers. So it was like, but it was still the worry somebody may jump up. But to see them, and it was like Green Bay, and I'm sitting there with Alex Shapiro now because he's at Hallis Hall. And he's like, your guy's gone, Ken. And I'm like, did they announce it yet? Did they announce it? Right? Do you know something I don't know? Because it hasn't come across the screen. Like, he's gone, Ken. I'm like, damn it. I wonder this, though, Ivan. How upset would you have been had Kritz and Watson been there at 39 and they still went with Kyler Gordon?
It would have stung a little bit more. It would have stung a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, and then to see him fall to somebody else like the Packers, it would have hurt. But, like I said, the initial hurt was bad, and then I'll tell you the next day I'm looking at their highlights, looking at some of their listening to what people have to say about these guys, and people are really high on them. People, you talked about their play in college. I think between Brisker and Gordon, where they allow one touchdown, very disciplined in the secondary, and then you have Velus Jones, who's a Swiss Army knife and can do it all. And I'm not going to go ahead and compare anybody to anybody right now because I want to see him on the field. But if these three guys could come in and contribute right now, I believe that their talent is good enough to be effective for the Bears later on when the Bears are ready.
I totally agree with you. Again, look, we don't know. I like the secondary. I like what they did. And I'll say this about Velus Jones. Shorty got me hyped. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever he's made out of, give me two of them because – I like it. So, and like you say, you won't do it out. If he's got a little Debo-esque in him, especially the thing is too, I haven't heard a lot of people say this. When Luke Gessie first came here, what he was selling us was they were going to be a lot like the 49ers. And I'm not saying that they're going to be the fourth, but we're going to run the ball because Kyle Shanahan, like his father, he's going to get, if he got a healthy running back for about 15 games, that's some bitch going to run for 1,000 yards, all right? So if we're going to be similar to that, all right, let's see. We know right now they're trying to break everything down and I don't feel like they're trying to add too much on to Justin. I know we're like, they're not helping him. But if you fortify your offensive line and you simplify the system and you play through the run, you're helping him a lot because you're making it a lot easier for him to read what's happening in front of him.
Speaking of offensive line, drafted four offensive linemen in the later rounds. Got me hyped. Like I was like, all right, cool. Competition off the bat. That sounds good. They signed a slew of undrafted free agents. Between those guys, the bottom tier offensive linemen that were selected and some of the unrestricted free agents, are there any intriguing prospects that like just pop out to you right away?
No, I would be lying to you if I sat here and was like, man, let me tell you about Jatari Carter and what coming from Southern. I mean, look, the measurables look good on these kids. We'll see. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you about it's good that they got more bodies in there. And this is the thing I wanted to see. Cunningham and Poles, y'all keep selling us on, man. I know one thing I do know is offensive line. Where this better be the Bears version of what Green Bay used to do with their quarterbacks, how they used to pimp off their quarterbacks. They better be finding these linemen every year and either getting rid of the ones that they got that are playing, that they know that they got the shorty in the background that can play as well or if not better. You better be flipping these linemen like they're going out of style since y'all know so much about the offensive line play, in my opinion.
Well, and I agree with you there because and like I said, I'm not going to keep bringing up the top two or the top two picks that they had, but just thinking about top talent in the offensive line, it's like you didn't see any top talent there at that spot. That was just, I mean, did you just overvalue the bottom of the board enough? Did you think you could find some guys that are ready to go now or possibly compete for that spot? It was confusing how it went because he valued playmakers, and not saying that playmakers don't come on defense, but everything was leaning towards offensive line, wide receiver here and there. I hope that they would be able to go ahead and find guys with their background that can come in and be effective right away. How did you feel about, and I'm happy about it, I'm sure you are as well, having Justin Fields involved in the process, having scouts, not just having scouts have one guy, but have three top guys, and the communication that was being displayed at Hallis Hall is something that, for me, I think is a plus. You communicating with everybody is in line with each other, speaking one language. How did you feel about that?
I thought it was dope. I thought it was refreshing. And also I think it puts responsibility even more on those scouts. You're not hiding behind Ryan Pace and we don't know who you are and how you felt about this player in your area. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought it was to me, it speaks to where I think this thing is being run well. And it's early, so I don't know. But man, if we have a really good GM, whoa. Because I mean, when's the last time we had a really good GM? Finks? You know what I'm saying? Like when's like a really good GM? I'm talking about people that hit in the first round. Everybody else was like, Jerry may miss in the first, but watch out for the second and third round. The same thing with Ryan Pace. Boy, when Ryan Pace getting the fourth and fifth, boy, you better hold up. Like, what if we have someone that can actually hit in the first and the second regularly? You're still gonna have oops and ahs, but regularly hit up top and can maneuver. And you like, what if we have someone that's like Ozzie Newsome? You know what I'm saying? Like these teams, what if we have someone that's like the Steelers? These teams that are ran properly through the draft. Listen, imagine being a Steelers fan and wanting probably Kenny Pickett, and all the Steelers had to do was wait. It had to be ecstasy to sit there and think, man, we got to trade up. We got to give up some of this just draft equity. And you're sitting there like, oh, right. And it's like the Patriots last year with what's his name? With Jones, where it's like, dude, he fell in your lap. Like, no, if we have someone that can do it, and I'm not saying Ryan Poles can, the jury's out right now on Ryan Poles, and we won't know about these players, some of them until next year, but really 2 years from now. But man, if we got somebody that knows what the hell they're doing, and I mean, can actually empower people so that they go on to do stuff, so we really know, damn, we got one of the best dudes doing it. Man, I hope it's what it is, and in my opinion, right now, it seems like it could be. Let me say, could be. It's not fact as of yet.
The upcoming season, they haven't released a schedule yet. I mean, the exact schedule yet. We know the opponents. How do you feel? Like, there's people that are under the impression that this team is going to be bad, like probably top 10 draft pick bad. Do you feel that way? Do you think this team could overachieve here and there? Can they win a game that they're not supposed to? I mean, we'll have to see them on the field, obviously.
Yes.
But the way that the vibe of the coaches, the way that Ryan Poles has been putting this team together, the players that you're seeing, do you feel like they could overachieve and surprise us next year?
I don't want them to overachieve too much, Ivan. But and this is wrong because for the players, you want them to do as best as possible. But I would like a top 10 pick in next year's draft, to be honest with you, and then never to be there again in the next 4 to 5 years, basically. It would be nice when you have all your picks except the 6th round pick as of right now that he gave up to move back down. It would be good if they can get a top 10 pick and get a receiver or some defensive end. That's because, I mean, just imagine next year where you could come into the draft and the only thing you're trying to do is probably replace the aging Robert Quinn. You know what I'm saying? Or, if this is some tackle that you really see and you like, man, listen, we got to have him, or a receiver. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you like, now you can kind of go out and maybe you can still do best player available, but you can lean towards what you need, you know what I'm saying, to impact Justin in the offense. So, I mean, I think they can win. I think that what I would say 7 to 8 games will be my high point for them to win next year. I would say 6, but I think they can win 7 games next year, and it'd be a successful season. If we see buy-in, particularly on the defensive side, I think it's a real successful season next year, to be honest with you. If you start to see, like, man, these guys are getting it and they're buying into Eberflus's system, that's going to lean towards that this is moving in a positive direction at the beginning. It still doesn't mean it will consistently move in a positive direction, because I don't know. This is the first time head coach.
And to Vernon's question, and you're absolutely right. So we just gotta. It just has to play out. I know we're all eager. Bears fans want a winner. It just has to play out. Vernon brought up a good point. I will be rooting for Elijah Hicks because he's really like that. He brought some energy. I know he brought some energy on the on his video on his social media. You're just happy to see a guy who was drafted low, the last pick that we selected, jacked up to go play some football. Like,
Right.
They talked about finding guys that love to play football and, getting value at the bottom end of the draft. If Elijah Hicks's energy matches his talent, his play, I think we're in for an exciting young player. How do you feel about, I mean, all of them, they all came on social media, greeted the fans, were happy. How did you feel about their energy, the players, the draftees coming in?
They were turned. Listen, I've never seen so many kids bust flips out. That one Gordon does, where he's in the Washington uniform and it's one of those "you got served" flips. I'm like, damn, Shorty, how athletic are you just to go out there, just to walk out and then bust a backflip out and land on your, like, listen, again, this sounds good. Hopefully it translates to the field. But what you just make the point, they want people that want it. You know what I'm saying? And now we have to hope that these kids will continue to want it. I mean, because most of them still haven't gotten their, I mean, they're going to get their first paycheck. But outside of Gordon and Brisker, it's not going to really be a paycheck. And even their second-round picks, you know what I'm saying? None of these kids are making first-round money to where you can really go out and get your mama a house. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may be able to, put some money down on that new house. But as far as just, mama hit keys, home, it's your, like the old Tupac, like, nah, you
can help with the bills. You can help with the bills.
You're not making this your land. Your only son that became a man. Like, you haven't hit just yet to that type of money just yet. So they still should be biting at the bit, chomping at the bit to get paid. So, I mean, listen, I hope it translates. I'm not going to sit here and just be like, everything's going to work. I hope it does, but I'm an adult. I know things don't necessarily work that are planned.
No doubt. And looking at, like I said, just my hope is that 2 out of this class become immediate contributors. And I really think that it's going to be 3 with Velus Jones, off the gate. Like, not only is he going to compete on special teams, he's going to compete at the wide receiver spot for sure. I'm sure he's going to be in the backfield a couple times.
Yep.
I'm sure they'll have him everywhere and use him like he's accustomed to being used as a football player.
Real quick, I can't wait for Velus Jones to hopefully complain about, I'm tired of being used as a running back, is wearing my body out. I need to get paid like a wide receiver. If that happens down the road, everything worked out the way that we wanted it to work out.
I agree. I like Velus. Like, I think I didn't want to scare people off on Friday when I was doing the show, because it was just like I said, that cheese dagger to the heart. But Velus Jones, he's a guy that, like I said, all these guys look like they're enthused to play football. You watch Velus Jones's tape, he has that. I can see why the comparisons of Debo are there, because he has the size, he could break tackles, and he has the speed to get the hell away from you. And I like it. I really do. I hope that some of these undrafted, there's a couple undrafted players that I'm like, okay, maybe you could come in, help on special teams. You had, like, you did play well in college. There's, what was it, Master Teague, and I think
listen, the Master Teague, I enjoyed Master Teague at Ohio State, to be honest with you. I remember a couple of times watching Master. I remember thinking if Master Teague didn't get hurt, they would have went further a time or two in the playoffs. So I'm a Master Teague guy. I mean, I'm surprised. It makes me now want to go back and find out what happened to his career, because I never would have thought 3 years ago that Master Teague
didn't he get hurt?
Got hurt. Yeah, he had to.
Yeah, I think I want to say he got hurt in against Clemson, that Ohio State game against Clemson. I want to say that he got hurt. I'm not going to speculate, but he's intriguing as a running back because he was doing his thing at Ohio State with Justin Fields, and then you have I'm losing his name, the linebacker from Wisconsin, one of the undrafted cats, just could potentially become a special teams guy. Could maybe he becomes a Kwiatkowski or something like that.
Jack Sanborn.
Yes. Maybe he becomes one of those guys. He's interesting to me. I mean, he played in the Big Ten. I'm hoping that you could find one of them, not to be a superstar, but to contribute on this team. You could find some of those guys. I'm really impressed with Ryan Poles' draft so far. Guys, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to talk a little bit more Bears. We're going to talk a little bit of, I know you don't want to do it, Ken, but we're going to talk some White Sox. And then we're going to go ahead and set up Matt Anuko coming back. Hopefully Shawn will come back in. He said he'll be back here soon, but make sure you guys stay with us. You're watching Shawn and Maya in the Morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. The Bears have released quarterback Nick Foles, the former Super Bowl MVP, looking for a new home after 2 years. He made 8 starts over 2 seasons with Chicago. He was originally expected to compete with Mitchell Trubisky for the starting position. The Angels beat the White Sox 6-5. Mike Trout homered, doubled, and scored 3 runs. Sox starter Dallas Keuchel had a tough 5 innings, giving up 4 runs on 6 hits and 5 walks.
Rivas heading to the plate. He will score. Run-scoring double. Seiya Suzuki. Cubs lead 2-0.
The call on the Cubs radio network in Sunday's 2-0 win at Milwaukee. Marcus Stroman tossed a 2-hit ball over 7 innings, out-pitching Cy Young Award winner Corbin Burns. Patrick Wisdom homered as the Cubs ended a 4-game losing skid. Stroman struck out 5 and walked 1. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
It's Macy's Friends and Family with an extra 30% off special gifts from top designers just in time for Mother's Day when you use your coupon or Macy's card. And take 15% off fragrances, skincare, makeup, and more great gift ideas. Going on now at Macy's. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up today at Macy's.com/Star Rewards. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Down the sideline for Daniel Arias, intercepted. Cutting across, Elijah Hicks again for California. Protection holds up. Plummer throwing deep over the middle into double coverage for Stanley Berryhill, and it's intercepted. Picked off Elijah Hicks on second down. Jebbia. Oh, man, terrible pass picked off by Hicks. Elijah Hicks has the football, still on his feet to the 35. It's kept by Joyner. Joyner gets tackled for a loss by Elijah Hicks. So now Oregon State will have to be throwing the ball. They take a shot looking at Cotoriano, the tight end, and then a diving pick. Yes, it is.
Welcome back to Sports Zone Chicago. You're watching Shawn and Maya in the morning. I'm Ivan Vargas with Kenneth Davis, host of the Under Center podcast. Ken, that was Elijah Hicks, courtesy of Chicago Bears.
What's his measurables? Do you have his measurables right now?
Let me go ahead and find them.
Yeah, because I want to know how tall that kid is. So
he looks linked. I mean, he looks shorter in his video, but he looks a little bit taller when he's playing.
Yeah, so like that's kind of what that last interception, he looked taller than what I thought. If he's 6 feet, I'm feeling it. I'm 5'11" maybe, but if he's 6 feet or above, I'm feeling them. What Shorty was cooking up over there. It's Ivan looks.
Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go ahead and pull him up. Here's his bio. Let's see. He's 5'11", 200 pounds.
I figured it was 5'11". Damn it.
Yeah, 5'11", 200 pounds. Yeah. Born 10/16/1999. So that to make us all old, me and you both feel a little bit old. 1999. Definitely. I'm like, damn.
I was kicking it when Shorty was born.
I was running the streets.
I could be Shorty's daddy. A young father, though. I would have been a young dad at that point.
Right. And you know what? I like his energy. I like the energy that all the guys had brought into the videos, into the social media and stuff like that. And I want to say one thing: the Chicago Bears production team has definitely went ahead and been like scorched earth with all the stuff that they've been doing, because they definitely are putting out a lot of content, great content, really good content. But they're definitely going coming for them throats.
It seems a little bit better than QB1, right? Like just QB1 with a buster in the picture. Yeah, it seems like they've definitely stepped up their media game over there too to go along with the scouting. What's poppin', Mondo?
You're still playing for the Chargers? Yeah, I was playing. We probably, like I said before, the Chargers used to practice at Portage Park. That's where I played my Pee Wee ball, first year of Pee Wee ball. And I remember seeing Shawn and Armando running laps around the park. We didn't know each other, obviously, but
I was about to say, what?
They play literally in the field adjacent to Central. So they play on that. They practice on that field over there, but they'd be running laps and stuff. We start practice at the same time. So I saw Shawn and Armando.
So it was meant to be. All these years, it was meant to be.
Hey, it works out that way.
But they had you selling crack, didn't they? It sound like a crack story. Hey, Shorty, here.
You won't go to jail.
I got a feeling it's how you got to the game, Ivan. Don't let them exploit you, Ivan. Don't let them. Here, Shorty, hold this down while I'm training.
Right. But you know what? And looking at some of these Bears picks, I want to say that Ryan Poles was convicted on, because they said, I think Hub asked a question about, banging on the table or whatever, something like that. And Eberflus answered that that's kind of an old term, that nobody's banging on the table. And I don't think Hub really seriously. I mean, he didn't mean physically like bang on the table. But was there a guy that was, just point blank top of the board? And obviously Kyler Gordon was that guy. Like, I mean, if the way that they talked about him, the way that they, the way that they had presented him
didn't expect him to be there.
Exactly.
To pull up every simulation where he fell in the second, they said ignore it because it wasn't going to happen.
Right.
Clearly, look, he was supposed, if he failed there, everybody and their mama almost had the Bears taking him or Smith to tackle. All right, so that's letting you know that it was a sound pickup because everyone thought if he was there, the Bears would not at half. It was either Smith or Gordon that you saw on the first mock. On most mocks, for the Bears, if Gordon made it to the second round. So, look, they did good with their first 3 picks, I believe. Again, we got to wait to see what happens with Jones. You know what I'm saying? That he's shakier. But Brisker is, I think we kind of underplanned Brisker being freaky at safety. You know what I'm saying? And coming down in that box and being able to do a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? Like that. They picked up a sound. Look, something that was a weakness last year, when these kids get up to speed, should be a strength. Now we're looking at the weak point being Eddie Jackson, basically. So you need to step your damn game up because you got ballers, what seem to be ballers around you. Maybe, look, a rising tide rises all ships. But now you got kids that are chomping at the bit. All that the tacklers don't get paid stuff isn't going to resonate with these shorties. You know what I'm saying? So, like, now, again, that was clearly a weakness. All we had was Jalen. Last Friday, I was just on here telling Shawn that you can't say that Graham Jr. or whoever, you can't go into the season with Shorty starting. You couldn't. We've been playing ourselves, even if
there was no competition with no competition.
Yeah, we had to listen.
And I like Thomas Graham Jr. I like Thomas Graham.
All of those DBs from last year outside of Jalen Johnson had to be knocked down a couple of pegs, man. They weren't that good, and they were forced into playing. Even though Thomas Graham should have been playing more, but still, you had to knock that down, man. And also, do they fit this system? So. Again, those two, let's find out because they seem like that back end may be a little something.
Yeah, Russ,
now,
Brandon, that's absolutely to Ken's point, and I was gonna say that seat's got to be hot, fuego, on fire for Eddie Jackson. Fresh start, your fresh start. Go ahead.
$3 million is a dead cap, I believe, after this year because we've been watching it for years. It was $8 this year, I believe, and $3 million next year, Eddie Jackson. So it's not going to be punitive to cut that ass next year.
Yeah, shit ain't sweet.
Yes, I'm with you, Brandon.
Yeah, it ain't sweet no more. So you know this fresh start needs to happen right away for Eddie Jackson because you got kids that are, and I don't want to call it because you got young men that are eager and want to play football. They love to play football. I'm not saying Eddie doesn't love football. I even though I question it sometimes, but you can't just come up and show up like you the superstar, you the vet, because your job is on the line this year. It's a unique situation for Eddie Jackson. You've already gotten paid at a young age, and it was almost as like you arrived, even though your play didn't show it after the fact that you got paid. So it's a unique situation. You got to realize that you're not the man. You got to go ahead and perform.
Right, I totally agree with you.
Now you're looking at Ebner, the running back out of Baylor. I was thinking about the combination of, Jones and Dillon up north in Green Bay. How they use them, just looking at Ebner's style, looking at how he catches passes out of the backfield and how he runs, it looks like Aaron Jones. Like, I don't know if I'm wrong. Maybe it was just my naked eye just seeing a flash or something or just trying to see something that's not there. But he looks elusive like that. Catching passes out of the backfield, could find his way, could wiggle a little bit, change direction. And I'm not saying that you're going to go ahead and slide him in. All of a sudden he's running back one. But is there going to be a change of the title? Are they going to use all their running back? Is David Montgomery going to be that battering ram like Dillon? And they use a Herbert and a Ebner more like a Jones, like that change of pace? Or what are they going to do with the running backs? I like the way Ebner looks on film.
I think, listen, with Velus Jones and Ebner and David Montgomery, I think they're trying to trick people. I think they're trying to let you not necessarily know what they're running, particularly when you're looking at Ebner. It wouldn't surprise me sometimes where he's a single back and then they have nobody in the backfield and now he's out deep on a linebacker because, that they were in a 4-3 and somebody has to stick him that's not prepared to necessarily. I think they're trying to do a lot of trickery where, for instance, with Velus Jones, where he's outside and then he comes and lines up in the backfield. I think they're trying to do a whole lot of that to throw people off so you won't necessarily know what they're running and when they're running, and they can run multiple things out of different sets is what I think when you got the type of similar players in the Ebner and just guys that are similarly built. And like you said, you've seen how well Ebner was running routes in his highlights. You know what I'm saying? It didn't look awkward. You know what I'm saying? His hands didn't look like he was catching with his body. So again, listen, this is what I hope too. But this is what would make sense to me with the players that they selected. It seems to me they're really trying to do a lot of what the 49ers do. You know, now, are they as smart as Kyle Shanahan? I don't know yet. That, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll have to see if they can pull it off. But it seems like they're trying to do a lot of trickery where you're not clearly sure what they're trying to do with necessarily who's in the game.
As far as this right guard situation, are you concerned about it? Is there going to be a change of position for one of the tackles that we got last year, one of the young tackles in Jenkins or in Borum? What's going to happen at that right guard spot? I know you have your center now in Lucas Patrick. What's going to happen with right guard? It's kind of concerning to most Bears fans. I think there's going to be competition. One of these offensive linemen might win it.
Yeah, one of these guys is your guard. One of these guys is your guard, man.
Right,
or it's going to be Larry Borum getting kicked in, probably. And one of these guys may get your chance to be. So, I mean, you will look at the top. One, you have to look at Braxton Jones being the first guy to get a chance if he's going to play tackle. And that means one of these tackles is probably going to get knocked in. And then the rest of these guys are basically competition in depth. I don't see them. Now I could be wrong. I don't see them drafting all these linemen and they're going to go out and get a damn guard. You know what I'm saying? In the second wave of free agency. I don't see it. I think whoever's the guard is on this roster right now. And now it's time for these kids to go out there and fight for these damn positions. You know, even Borum and Jenkins shouldn't feel safe. They didn't play a whole year last year. Jenkins barely played. So we don't have to come in here just because guys have been in here and you have an affinity for them, feel like, well, they got the spot. Let them earn the spot. If they earned the spot, they earned it. If they didn't, they weren't good enough then. Let these kids battle for it, man. And they got a lot of bodies. Let's see where the cream rises.
I like it.
With Nomad. I think we're good now. I think we're good at guard. Listen, if you draft all these people and nobody's a guard, we got a damn problem. All right.
All right. That makes 100% sense. Looking at Matt Eberflus, he seems excited about these guys. I want to know in his first what do you need to see from Coach Flus, right? And I'm not talking about particularly the players. What do you want to see from Coach Eberflus continuing to go forward into the season, not only as he molds his defense, but how he interacts with his players? What do you want to see from Eberflus? Do you want to see, constantly nonstop, the production team just in his face for the camera, or do you just want to see a little bit of concern when it comes game time, what he does on the field? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is training camp, do you care about training camp, or do you more care what he's going to do on Sundays on the football field? Are you paying attention to that?
Both. I mean, the camera stuff, I don't need the camera stuff. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see an attention to detail and buy-in from the players. You know what I'm saying? Like I want it how he speaks. I want to hear the player saying verbatim what he says. You know what I'm saying? Where it's drilled into their mind, hits, Eminem, all those things. I want to hear them and I want to see them act on it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want to see in training camp. I want to see bodies flying around, Ivan, and I want to see gang tackling. And I know they shouldn't be tackling, but gang tackling. I want to see guys pick up the ball. That's a whistle has blown, but they still running their ass down the other way. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to see everything that was happening in the middle of the odds when it comes to that damn defense. That's what the hell I want to see. Attention to detail. We're not quitting. You know what I'm saying? Effort is basically always there. Players do get tired, but effort is basically there. Very few bonehead plays compared to not a lot of this. Look, three guys doing this in the defensive backfield. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to see that.
Right. We're gonna go ahead and bring in Shawn here, see what his opinion. He's back. He's back. The Superback is back. So we'll bring him in right now.
What is up?
We're in the streets.
No,
What's up? Ivan was just telling me he used to sell rocks for y'all. I see you got your drug dealing outfit on. Shawn out here looking like he on Snowfall in the Wire. I mean, in a positive sense. You look very hip. All right.
No, and get it straight. This is my power outfit when Ghost had to go do some stuff.
Okay.
Okay. He had the vest on. He had the vest. He got all the black silhouette cat burglar type. This is my power. This is my James St. Patrick when I'm running the streets doing up to no good.
Exactly.
Always up to no good. Doing my dirt.
Ivan just was talking about when you and Mondo were playing for the Chargers and he was in Pop Warner, how he used to leave the crack by the stroller for him to go sell while you guys was getting y'all working. I'm joking. I'm just making shit up. But yeah, Shawn, we haven't talked about the draft, bro. So what were your thoughts?
I say a B. I'm not happy with the fact he didn't go get a big wide receiver. And everyone's saying, well, he's a Deebo Samuel. He's just okay. Well, we don't know that. All right, he's built like him. He had one good year. All right. So my question is, what took you so long to have such a good? He was at USC for a couple of years. Then he goes to Tennessee, and last year's really the year he got off as a receiver, but it wasn't running a full route tree. It's coming across, chasing them, and you can't catch them. And I'm not saying that's not effective. Don't get me wrong. Shit, that's what Tyreek Hill was when he first got here. His first 3 years, it was let me just run across the field and have people try and catch me. All right. But I was upset that they didn't get a number one. All right. And here's my thought. People sit there and they're like, oh, okay, well, if you can't stop anybody, you can't. I said, okay, fine. But let me ask you a question. Is this defense that he's putting together, is it going to be better than the 06 defense led by Lovey, Urlacher, Briggs, Peanut Tillman, Tommy Harris? Is it going to be better than those guys? I would say probably not. Call me crazy. Is this defense going to be on par with 2018 defense led by Vic Fangio? Danny Trevathan, Roquan Smith, Akeem Hicks, Khalil Mack. Is it going to be up to there? No. Well, guess what? Those defenses couldn't stop Aaron Rodgers either. All right. So the fact of the matter is, if we keep doing, the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Well, how about we focus on getting a guy that Justin can throw to, where we have a chance to go blow for blow, have a puncher's chance against Aaron Rodgers. Now, and mind you, Aaron Rodgers is down. Well, we don't know how down he is because he did get 2 good receivers in the draft, but he's down his top Pro Bowl receiver, and he's down the second receiver. So I would have liked, Alex Pierce was there, George Pickens was there. Either one of those.
Not with the first pick though.
Either one. Well,
not with the first pick. Because to the value, those guys. Look, if Christian Watson was there and they didn't take him, I'd be mad. I'm just in Green Bay. Let you know what the value was on him. I would be upset. But this is the thing too. When you said that the definition of insanity, you can't put other people's crazy on this new regime. So we can't say for them when they come in here like, well, we got to do this because these other people did this. They have to do what they feel like is best for them to succeed. So, and also even with, and I'm not, again, I wanted Christian Watson, but even if you would have gotten him, it still may not be the best thing for the Bears offense just yet to try to go pass for pass with Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? Like this offense may not be ready to try. That could end up putting the defense in precarious situations, in short fields or whatever, because you're turning over the ball more because you're trying to do something that you're not even to that level. You're not at 202 yet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not telling you that because we don't know. That's the thing too. I give it a B2 because I don't know who any of these cats are going to be. I definitely think the top 2 are going to be good, right? We got to see who Jones is. You know what I'm saying? It's no reason for us to overhype it. If he is who we hope him to be, it's going to be nice. If they could listen, he doesn't even have to be Debo. He has to be the best him. If he could be the best him, and as far as you're doing layers and you just have him, like you said, going at a certain depth, going across the field, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's how you guys are going to try to attack it initially, great. But I mean, I'm not going to oversell it because nobody's putting money in my back pocket. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for any of us to be sitting here overhyping it, because if it happens and it pops, it pops. And if 2 years from now, if this shit is a failure, I'm going to be right here telling you, hey, it looked good when they was doing it, but clearly it was not the proper way to go about it.
Yeah, but there's one thing here. You're expecting Justin Fields to have a big step up. You see many quarterbacks have their biggest jump is from 1 to 2 because it's overwhelming. The playbook is overwhelming because you're coming into a new system, because where you're coming from, you're probably in that system in minimum 2 years. All right, but most likely 3 years, maybe 4 years. All right, so you're comfortable with the system that you're in coming from college, obviously. All right. First year in the NFL for a quarterback is crazy. You're in charge of a whole bunch of different responsibilities, people's alignment, from calls, checks. All right. Second year is when you expect a big step up in production. Well, I don't know if we have that dude that, I'm going to go Justin Fields. I mean, look at all the good quarterbacks. They'll throw it up and they have that dude. I'm not saying, Jones can't be that dude to catch underneath, and maybe he will be a Tyreek Hill type to catch it and go and run through people, run by people. He might be. He very well could be. But I'm not banking on that yet. All right. But give me a guy. I would have liked the guy. And don't get me wrong, I give it a B. I think the cornerback's going to start. I think he'll be great. I think the safety's going to start. He's going to be great. I think those first 2 picks are good picks. I did want a wide receiver, though. Like I said, you had those 2 guys there. You have enough people. So if the defense turns the ball over now, who's Justin going to throw to? If it's in the end zone, who's he going to go to? Now it's not going to be as easy for Velus Jones to run away from people when you're 20 yards in. You got a 30-yard in because of a 30-yard field with the back of the end zone. So that's my issue. And I'm not putting
also, though, remember, this is really year 1 because he was in a different offense that was not working last year whatsoever.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to look at it as far as he's learning a totally new offense, and he didn't get the reps in preseason. He didn't we saw the Cleveland game, which let us know that they didn't have that scheme for Justin. So this is really year 1.5. You know what I'm saying? As far because he at least got reps last year.
1.2.
Yeah, I mean, because they were inept last in teaching this kid.
So because you put it that way, Ken, I maybe have to think about that a little bit, and that's why I love you, you crazy son gun, because that make me think about it. Because
you're not wrong for wanting to. First of all, let's put it no one's wrong for wanting to fucking get offense in Chicago. All right, we've been struggling forever. Also, I brought you up on the Under Center show too, just so you know. I was talking about my buddy Shawn. All right, I had to bring you in when we were talking cornerbacks, but no, it's nothing wrong with nobody. I wanted, all right, Christian Watson. I was mad. All right, I wanted to slam my computer. I didn't want to record that night. I was mad. All right, this is the truth. But again, I know what I wanted, and I'm gonna tell you this. Now, let's say this. Next year, they pull this shit again, it ain't going to fly. All right? I'm telling you that, right? You got all your draft. Listen, that first and that second round, he better come out of one of them MFers. I'm telling you, right? And it better really be the first. But he better come out. We better, or now we're starting to wonder what y'all doing on the offensive side for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to make sense at that point. To me.
So here's the thing I'm going to trust. All right. Here's the thing I'm going to trust. All right. Like I said, I was pissed. I was really pissed. I was cursing like a son of a gun, dude. My mom was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, she's like, all right, go back over there. I'm watching TV. I was like, because I came out. I was mad in the mug.
Me too.
But remember, we did get Khalil Mack a week before the season.
That was Brandon.
Right. There are some wide receivers who are not happy out there. Okay, there are going to be some June 1st cuts. Okay, there is a chance to go get a number 1 receiver. Maybe not a phenomenal number 1 receiver, but a legitimate number 1 receiver. Like if you give me Allen Robinson again, I know he's in the Rams, but if you give me someone like him for a year or 2, I'm cool. I'm cool. Okay, and then you can go get another number 1 receiver next year. Like, okay, when he fades out, okay, boom, now we got our dude. All right.
Totally.
So I'm trying to believe me, I'm trying to be positive about look on the bright side. I get the defense, okay, blah 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 blah. God, I wanted that receiver. If you get all those linemen down there, okay, cool. But how many times do you get 6th, 7th round linemen who make the team? You know what I mean? And I know, and there's a lot more linemen. There's a lot more everybody because of the year of COVID gave a lot of people an extra year of eligibility. So maybe these 6th and 7th rounders are maybe 3rd, 4th, or 5th rounders in a regular draft.
Right.
Okay, so that's dude. I'm telling you, I'm pulling everything out of my ass to try and find a silver lining in this thing, dude. I'm like, I'm making the wrong way at 90, and it kind of threw him off a little bit. But so I'll give it. Dude, I'm trying, bro. I am trying, because you know what? And they are again. How many times have we not had? How long have we not had a legit number 1 receiver? Allen Robinson was good till last year when they decided not to throw to him for whatever reason.
Right.
Okay, his targets dropped unbelievably, and the prior 2 years, he was a legit number 1. We had no problem with him. We knew he wasn't a burner.
Right.
Okay,
But still,
Allen
he was
Robinson,
he was a top 15 guy.
A year and a half back in 09, 10, somewhere in there. That's it. That's the last time we had a legit number 1 dude. You saw Brandon Robinson, Brandon Marshall. Then, dude, Cutler would force it in 3 guys, and that dude would come out with it.
Right.
And we're like, damn, that is a legit.
That was also a problem too. Cutler would force it between 3 guys to try to get it to Brandon Marshall, and sometimes it didn't work.
Sometimes it didn't. Most of the time it did.
He gave him a B+ though, Ivan. So he's only looking at the rosy side of things with Jay Cutler.
Love me some Jay. Don't even start. Try to get him on the show, man. You think I'm kidding?
I get him. Get his ass on the show.
Man, I'd love to get Jay on here. I'd love to. He'd be like, hey, Shawn, he's got the
Oh snap! Oh,
so, but I'm good. I like the edge rusher they got, the project, Dominique.
Dominique Robinson.
And then he switched him over. Watch him in drills in the combine. He looks that part. Like he can be that one trick pony that you and I have talked about numerous times.
Right.
Man, go get him. Go get him.
Go get him. Hey, your job, sir. Go get him. All right. Don't worry about that running back.
Hey, if they run a draw and he runs by you, get a first down, that ain't on you.
Exactly.
Go get the quarterback. One job, baby. Get the quarterback.
That's it. That's it. Easiest job. You don't have to worry about nothing. All right. Just I'm with listen, if it works, all these kids are not gonna hit or stick. Yep. All right. That's just the truth of the matter. But you brought in more bodies to fill in holes, and you got more kids on contracts. So at least you got a hold on them, and you don't have to worry about if you stood pat trying to convince them to come here, while other teams are trying to convince them to come here. You're like, I'm gonna gobble these up, and they're ours. Rather than then now, let's get on the phones and talk to these undrafted free agents and get them out of here. But at least we got all of these. We don't have to worry about competing with other teams to get them into our facilities.
Yeah, I'm happy with the excess linemen, the 4 linemen that they got, because you're going to get competition. And again, let's not forget the June 1st cuts, because you can get somebody cut just be a salary cap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And boom, I'm telling you again, we got Khalil Mack a week before the season. We only saw one part of Ryan Poles. What if he makes a trade?
Right.
What if he makes a trade? You know what I'm saying? And it's possible.
I think he's going to really try to hold on to especially that first rounder next year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to really try to hold on to that just because they're still at the beginning. And I think still right now, they're going to spend some money next year because they're going to have crazy cap space. Now, that's not to say they're going to obliterate it. They may look at it as, let's keep some of this cap room and let this team grow organically and still have this cap room. We have to go out and overspend on a free agent. But they're going to spend next year. But I think we're going to see more building through the draft, which I'm off. Dude, this is a rebuilding team. We have to come to grips with that, man. Like, we have to. Even how the defense was set up, it had names on it. They were pressuring the quarterback, but they weren't doing shit in the passing game. You know what I'm saying? And like, so that's going to lead to defeat. You saw what it led to. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't.
Watch this, Ken. Watch this. You know how this is so Chicago Bears. So now you got your little Debo Samuels type in Velus Jones. You still got Darnell Mooney. You got the running back from Baylor. You had all this speed. In December, it's going to be rendered null and void.
Muddy.
All that on that sloppy track. But no,
Right.
according to our research, the injuries, there's no real difference in injuries. It's not about injuries, dummy. You build a fast team, put them on a fast track. But no, we're too smart for that. This is why I talk about why when I said, nobody in the McCaskey family decided to go into football. Nobody decided to become a scout. Nobody decided to be, but GM. Nobody decided to study the game that their grandfather. The reason you're a billionaire is the reason. Nobody, because that's a common sense thing. That's a common sense thing. You got a team full of track stars, and you put him on grass and mud in the end of the season. Come on, man. I don't know. Hey, we gotta take a break. Hey, Ken, great stuff, Papa. I appreciate it. Sorry I couldn't get to you earlier, bro.
No problem, man. Take care of your OG, man. Everybody have a great one, man. I'll see you guys.
I bet. Guys, we'll be right back. On the other side of the break, we got our guy. I'm excited to talk to him, Matanuco. What's going on with the good guys? So don't go anywhere. On the other side of the break, Matanuco from Pinwheels and Ivy podcast right here, Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. The Bears have released quarterback Nick Foles, the former Super Bowl MVP, looking for a new home after 2 years. He made 8 starts over 2 seasons with Chicago. He was originally expected to compete with Mitchell Trubisky for the starting position. The Angels beat the White Sox 6-5. Mike Trout homered, doubled, and scored 3 runs. Sox starter Dallas Keuchel had a tough 5 innings, giving up 4 runs on 6 hits and 5 walks.
Rivas heading to the plate. He will score. Run-scoring double. Seiya Suzuki. Cubs lead 2-0.
The call on the Cubs radio network in Sunday's 2-0 win at Milwaukee. Marcus Stroman tossed a 2-hit ball over 7 innings, out-pitching Cy Young Award winner Corbin Burns. Patrick Wisdom homered as the Cubs ended a 4-game losing skid. Stroman struck out 5 and walked 1. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
It's Macy's Friends and Family with an extra 30% off special gifts from top designers just in time for Mother's Day when you use your coupon or Macy's card. And take 15% off fragrances, skincare, makeup, and more great gift ideas. Going on now at Macy's. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up today at Macy's.com/Star Rewards. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Shawn, all right, perfect. Shawn, I had to jump in because Shawn had his phone flipped upside down. Sorry about that, but we're going to bring Shawn right back in. What's up, dude? I was trying to set it up for you, but I saw you were busy back there.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning at Sports Zone Chicago. As you can see, I am out in the streets, but I'm here. I'm parked here for another, I'll be here for another 2-3 hours. So I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. So anyway. Yeah, welcome back. Listen, great stuff with Ken. I came in a little late. And unfortunately, a situation came up, so I had to head out. But I'm excited to bring in my next guest. We got to talk, man. We got to talk. What is going on? Man, he's a good friend of the program. He is an award-winning journalist. He is a professor. He looks like a professor. And now that I think about it, he's part of the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. You can find him on Twitter at Matt_Anuko. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Matt Anuko. Matt, what's up, Papa? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm not used to being showered with all these compliments while being introduced.
You are a professor. So yeah. So when I say he does look like a professor, now you come and looking like a frat boy. Like, come on! I'm waiting for the glasses and the cardigan and the yes. Thank you for having me
Elbow
on.
pads.
Elbow pads on your blazer, the tweed blazer, a little pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. All these books behind me, I've read all 786 of them.
I've read every single one twice.
Hey, bro, good to have you back. Let's talk about our good guys, man. They're not playing very well right now, dude. What is your assessment of it? Is it just the injuries because people are coming back? Is it a lack of focus? Is it Tony not laying the hammer down when he should be? Is these guys too big for the britches? What is your assessment for this White Sox team? Because they are playing like horseshit, 8-13 right now, and I am pissed. They got one more game against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim of Orange County in Southern California, whatever the hell their name is. And then they're going across town to take on the Cubs tomorrow. What is your assessment? Because I am not happy right now with my boys.
I'll tell you, man. I admittedly don't get to watch as much baseball as I want, but I saw their record yesterday and I almost choked. It's not good. How many different ways can you explain this? I think Pito had a good quote the other day. He doesn't believe in luck, right? But then he kind of like laughs and he's like, well, seems like all the other teams are having some good luck. Even Tony La Russa like didn't want to excuse it away in post-game comments on the 30th. So the things that I see, number one, they are snake bitten with these injuries. Eloy goes down. He's probably not coming back until around the All-Star break, and that's probably early. He's probably after the All-Star break, after they get him back in baseball shape, right? Lynn goes down with knee surgery. Crochet's down with Tommy John. Moncada and Kelly are on their way back, but they can't get here quick enough. They're hitting the ball hard. Offensively, the luxury they've done in the creation of their roster is that I look at their starting five as far as pitching goes, and even with Lynn out, Crochet injured, Kelly injured, you still got a starting lineup. And I know Keuchel got touched up a little bit yesterday, and there's a lot of excuses I can come up with for that. But you still got Keuchel. Velasquez is like, who knows what you're going to get with him. He could be dominant one day and the next day throwing the ball off the backstop. But Kopech's going tomorrow. He's been all right. Maybe he's getting his starting stuff back.
Yeah.
Kopech. Cease has been okay. The past two outings, I know he's still giving up a little bit, too many walks, but, and Giolito, you get what you're getting with him. So they've still got the horses there. And as long as they keep hitting the ball hard, great. The ball's going to fall sometime. But yeah, what I see is they are 0-10 when losing after the sixth inning. So they are not coming from behind to win. Although they came close yesterday.
Very, very,
very close. Close is not good enough, right?
Nope.
So I've got a lot of excuses for them.
Let me ask you a question, and this is what some people disagree with me, some people agree with me. This is where I find it extremely important as a professional. Okay, this needs to be in your repertoire. You need to be able to bunt when they down for gas. All right, the only guy I don't know was the shortstop or the third baseman, whoever the hell it was in the middle, smack dab in the middle between second and third. You lay a bunt down right inside toward the third base line, okay, or deaden it right between third and home. There's no way that second or the third base or whoever it is going to be able to get over there, get to third, so the runner safe, throw it home, or get you at home. Now you're relying on the pitcher, and that bothers me. And everyone says, "Oh, well, small ball is small." It's not small ball. It's called baseball. And these are things that you have in your repertoire. And I was saying this earlier in the show before I had to leave. It bugs the shit out of me because it reminds me of basketball players who can't shoot 80-85% from the free throw line. Like, what do you do? How do you not shoot 80% from the free throw line when you're a multimillionaire? You probably have a court at home and you're at the facility all day. How can you not be good at free throws? And to me, it's like it's about being a complete player, and I don't see these guys taking advantage or making themselves complete. Because so you may have to bunt 3 times, 5 times all season long, but you be good at it. Be ready when it happens. Because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And that bugs me, dude. That bugs the hell out of me.
I'm just glad that you went on that tirade and I didn't, because I get lit up on Twitter all the time when I'm like bunting and small ball. You don't give up outs. Outs are currency. Screw that. We've talked about this so many times. Years we've been talking about this.
Yeah.
And what I love about what the White Sox have done is they've zigged when the whole league is zagging. Everybody's playing guerrilla baseball. Everybody wants launch angle. Everybody says we'll take a strikeout instead of a ball and play. No, the White Sox have gone to multi-talented players, guys that are, two-way threats, essentially. They can drive the ball out of the ballpark. They can hit doubles. They can leg out a triple if needed. They can steal bases. They can put the ball on the ground. That's it. That's it. I completely agree with you. You know what? I was watching the Phillies and the Mets last night on Sunday Night Baseball. Jeff McNeil choked up like a boss and pounded a ball through the shortstop, through the 6 hole, where he would have been playing routinely, but the Phillies had the shift on. Guy on base, he ends up scoring. Long inning.
Yep.
Put it on the ground. Try something new, and especially, to your first question about what's got to be done, try something different. Tony La Russa, try something different. You got to read your team. Again, they've, offensively, apparently the White Sox have like the 3rd highest exit velocity in the league. Great. We're hitting the ball hard, right? They're not falling. Try something different. Mix it up a little bit. Create some havoc and some panic on the defensive side. That's the whole reason you put a bunt down. Sometimes you just put a bunt down to see what they do, right? But in the shift, it's like, all right, just push it over there to third base, get a runner on. All your guys can run. Even Jose Abreu, put him on. I guarantee you, if you asked Jose Abreu to bunt, he'd do it, wouldn't even ask any questions.
Yeah. Guys, we're joined by Matt Anuko from the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. Talking White Sox baseball right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. I was toying with this idea. Does Tony really have a good grasp of this team? Because this team, what it seems like is like they're not having fun. And I mean, when you're losing, trust me, you're not having fun. But this team is not. I don't see the enthusiasm, the fun, the laughter, the joking in the clubhouse, in the dugout. I don't see a lot of that this year. And it's worrisome to me, because that's when this team is at its best, when they're loose, when they're not, because Tony's he's an old get off my lawn type of guy. Is he curtailing that? Are they too worried about him? Maybe they feel that, and so they're not themselves. What do you think Tony needs to do to get these guys to say, hey, I need you to be you. I need you to be, and sorry to borrow a Matt Nagy term, because that don't remind me of that joker, but I need you to be yourself. Okay. And what do you think he needs to do? Or does he just need to say it? Be yourself, because you're not having fun.
There's a fine line. There's kind of a window, even take going into a slump, for example. The first day you go 0 for 4, you might be like, all right, I got to get better tomorrow. I'll do some extra tee work. I'll take some extra batting practice. I'll do what I need to do. The next day you go 0 for 4. Now you start to get a little bit concerned, and you're like, all right, am I choosing bad pitches? Am I getting into bad counts? Or is it my mechanics? Do I not feel comfortable in the box? All right. And, then you assess from there. And then maybe you go 1 for 3 or 1 for 4 the next night, or you find yourself getting in more, bad counts. There's a point where you reach diminishing returns, where we used to say less is more. So if you get to a point, but you got to go through that kind of that period where there's like assessment and evaluation and figuring out, all right, are we just getting unlucky because we're, hitting the cover off the ball, but it's just finding mitts? Or are we just like throwing in the towel before we even have a chance? Is it, as a manager, you think to yourself, all right, it's first inning and the other team put up 3 runs. Are we going to go in the tank and just mail it in? Or are we going to fight back? So, he's got to look at his team and figure that out, and figure out, is this a less a less is more scenario where our guys are working hard, they're showing up early, they're taking all their extra work, and we're just not clicking right now. That's something where you may pull a Joe Madden kind of method, and you like say, all right, everybody wear something goofy on the next road trip, just to get your mind off of baseball. But maybe he's looking at that clubhouse and saying, if everybody was like laughing, having a good time, and like just worried about themselves kind of thing, while the team's on this 11-game skid or whatever, then you might have to try something different. But that's just knowing your team. And Tony La Russa, this is his 61st season in professional baseball, and I certainly did not give him much credit when the White Sox hired him. I think he did a good job, though. He kind of proved me wrong a little bit last year in understanding the modern day game. But, I think fans and the press will get very tired of a lot of excuses and a lot of just kind of obfuscation, or just not telling the truth and not coming out and saying, just telling it, saying what it is. And there's a fine line there also. He's not going to dime his team out and then ruin that relationship. But there's a point where he's got to answer some tough questions and say, hey, listen, I got to do better. This is on me. I haven't appropriately addressed these issues with the team, and maybe I've lost control. Then you really start getting into issues where you're like, he's lost the locker room kind of thing. But I don't think we're there yet. We also got to remember this is early in the season. It's historically brutal to play in Chicago in the spring. Right, you've got this baseball issue where they're putting it in humidors. It's not sticky enough. It's not rubbed up enough. You've got all these control issues, especially with the Mets. Apparently, it's only happening there. But you do have these issues with the ball. Total excuse. The ball's the ball. Go out and play the game. Figure out a way. Right. That's athletics, sports. Solve the problem. Yeah. So, he could point in any number of different directions, but I guarantee getting into these next 2 weeks in May, you fall too far behind, you don't find a way to get out of here, to get out of this mess, injuries be damned, figure it out, grind out wins, bunt the first 3 guys of each, of every inning. Just put some pressure on people, get them to think a little differently. But that's coming up and it's still early. Hopefully we turn a corner, today.
You're telling me, man. The game starts in a couple hours, 2 hours, I think, over here. We got something. Is Tony La Russa not being strict enough or laying the smack down? Is he really gone opposite? Because people were thinking, well, Tony's old school and this and this. Is he kind of going too far in not coming down on, because there's so much to be critical about this. Tim Anderson, again, was it Friday's game, Thursday's game, Friday game, another routine botched double play, 2 steps to the right, just off the heel of his glove, everybody's safe. If it happens once, I get it, but Tim has had a history of this since he got in the league. The simple plays, because 2 or 3 later, he dives up over second base, snags the ball, gets up and starts a double play. It's, to me, those things, that's unacceptable when you have those routine balls. As Tony just pull him aside and say, hey, listen, you're gonna sit down. All right, you're gonna sit down. We need we do need your bat, but you're not giving us what we need on the defensive end. So you're gonna sit and think about, maybe you'll come more focused. Should Tony be a little more, I don't know, more of a jag bag? Because you and I both know who we want for this team. You and I both know. And right now, the more this keeps going and going, the more it shows exactly why this dude that we know should have the job.
Yeah. It is, as a former infielder, you've got to make the routine plays. You practice the routine plays. You do it every day. And, for the past year and a half, 2 years, I've been saying that, maybe Tim Anderson specifically has adjusted and he's gotten a little bit better, and he is, it was throwing for a while. Now it's the glove. Now, again, you got to watch it every day. Is Tim just just Tim just being Tim? Is he hanging out saying all I got to do is just be a silver slugger because that's what the game wants? And if I field 900 instead of 980, who cares? I'm going to get paid anyway. I don't know. I don't think Tim's that way. I think that, like those things, from what I remember and the way I watch the game and look at the game, that's a culture thing. That's an integrity thing. That's like a David Eckstein. You put a David Eckstein on your team, the guy that has zero talent, but has just maximized it out. That rubs off on everybody else because they look around and like, why is this guy out here? He doesn't miss a beat. I got to keep up. I see Jose Abreu as that guy for the White Sox. You want to look to a leader. You want to see the way to go about your business. It's Jose Abreu. He's the leader of that team. Tim's a little flashy, and I think that's good for the game. I mean, he has become a well-known figure in the game. He's playing well, he's hitting well, he's batting well. But, if I'm sitting in that dugout and I'm Tony La Russa and I see, Tim rolling in a little bit late, pulling like a Jack Parkman kind of thing where like that doesn't matter the way I feel, it's only the way I hit. You crawl up his ass a little bit. You make life a little bit difficult, hit him in his pocket, fine him. We used to get that all the time. You make an error, it's $100 fine. You make an error,
really,
it's going to escalate from there. You can do that to those millionaires,
with that,
huh?
They're not going to have union issues with that.
I think you worry about that later. You can always get it back.
Hey, trust me. I am right along with you, and that's why I wanted Ozzie last year before he got hired, and I want him now. Tony La Russa. I just think that he's overcompensating, where he's not laying the smackdown. All right, and I think that the players, like, to me, it bothers me that you got to this level and then you don't want to improve. Like, you don't want to be the best infielder you can be. Tim Anderson worked himself up to being an above average shortstop from an athlete playing shortstop. And so why stop now? You know what I mean? And,
right.
And other players as well, their defensive efficiency. Like, dude, that's one area that you have to have pride in, because if you're not hitting the ball, well, guess what? You can still affect the game on the defensive side. And if you screw up and and that's the one thing, like, you can't give Dallas Keuchel extra outs. Like, he can't get extra outs. You can't do
Absolutely.
that. He's a ground ball pitcher. He pitches the contact. You can't let people keep hitting him, okay, when you should be out of an inning. And it bugs me because,
yep.
There's so many expectations for this team. So many expectations. They're lofty, okay? And part wonders if they're reading the press clippings too much. And this is where you need someone to put a foot in their ass to ground them, say, you still haven't won anything. And I'm wondering if La Russa is that guy, because I think Tony in the old days wouldn't have a problem saying that to his play. Now, I don't know if what he's doing.
Maybe TA watches this podcast and I just haven't been critical enough of him. I mean, seems like whenever I tell him, he sucks at shortstop, he goes out and makes a great play, goes on like a 30-day errorless streak, bats 500. So TA, you suck. All right.
Hey, good work. God bless.
But back on La Russa, it's so hard. Like, what he should be doing. Absolutely. Like, he should let him know, like, if this is a consistent pattern, you keep making these routine blunders. I mean, I was watching the Phillies and the Mets last night, and I saw Gene Segura boot one, and I was a little surprised. I was like, oh my God, that was just like completely booted. It wasn't even close to being played correctly. And it kind of shocked me a little bit too. I think sometimes these things happen. Hopefully TA shows up the next day and says, all right, give me some extras. I should have made that play. I should have been better. Again, that's like where he's got to read that. He's got to read that a little bit. And if it's more consistent and he's laissez-faire with that, something's got to change. Got to do something different. And I completely remember it. It's funny you mentioned that point about, like, you can't give Keuchel more outs right now. Every defensive player knows when you got a pitcher out there where you can't make a mistake. And it's heavy. It's heavy sometimes. But again, like, you're a professional athlete, figure it out, make the routine play. A lot of times, and I'll certainly say this, like, I probably made 1,000 I was probably perfect on every incredibly hard play to make because you're not supposed to make them, and they hardly ever come up. They're easy. Those are instinctual. If you miss it, you weren't supposed to get it anyway. It's a base hit. But I was not perfect on that routine ball. That's just a tailor-made double play. Occasionally I missed one, and I would be terrified. But everybody remembers that, they know who you can't make a mistake with on the pitching staff. And you know who you're never going to get a ground ball with because they're just blowing smoke and no one's going to touch it. So absolutely agree with you on that. And TA's got he's the middle of the field. He's the shortstop. He's supposed to be the guy that the rest of the infield should be like taking a cue off of. So again, completely agree with you. He's got to make that play.
It's frustrating, man. Hey, dude, I appreciate your time, man. As always, me and you could talk for a couple hours when it comes to baseball, man. Do me a favor, though, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Absolutely. You can follow me on Twitter on @Matt_Anuko. It's been a while since I've been on Twitter, but occasionally I jump on there. Follow me there, and yep, that's it.
Great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it, man. We'll be in touch soon.
Thanks for having
me.
Yeah,
if you've got a trip coming to Chicago soon, because I could be going to New York, possibly before the end of the year. And I'll definitely hit you up if I head to New York.
There you go, man. All right, I got Chicago on my radar. It's definitely I need to get there, and I got to have it coincide with the Sox game. I've never been to U.S. Cellular Field. Now it's guaranteed rate. Sox Park. Sox-ish, Comiskey-ish Park.
Well, you let me know, man. You let me know when you're thinking. We'll look at tickets, and it's a great time. Great time. Awesome. All right, boss. We'll talk. Have a great week.
All right, you too, man.
All righty, thanks, guys. That was Matt Anuko from the Undercenter podcast. The Undercenter. That's Kenny from the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast, and. Man, this White Sox, I don't know. I just feel that they're just too lazy. I just feel that they're just not, there's no sense of urgency. And I think Tony La Russa needs to do a better job of making sure that they feel that. Tony La Russa needs to do a better job of making sure that there is a sense of urgency and they are focused, because I don't feel that they are. And that's from the player and the manager and the coach in me and what I'm seeing. And I wonder how much of these expectations have gotten to them. All right. Well, we're supposed to win the AL Central. We're supposed to win the American League. We're supposed to get to the World Series. Guess what, Papa? Guess what, guys? It's not the way it is. That's why they play the games. And I still believe that the Sox have the best talent, have the most talent in the Central. Should win the Central. Doesn't mean you will. It doesn't. The old saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And right now, talent isn't working hard or focused, and it's evident. All right, we got to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we have more sports conversation, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
I'm turned. Just know I'm coming with that energy. I'm really like that.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. The Bears have released quarterback Nick Foles, the former Super Bowl MVP, looking for a new home after 2 years. He made 8 starts over 2 seasons with Chicago. He was originally expected to compete with Mitchell Trubisky for the starting position. The Angels beat the White Sox 6-5. Mike Trout homered, doubled, and scored 3 runs. Sox starter Dallas Keuchel had a tough 5 innings, giving up 4 runs on 6 hits and 5 walks.
Rivas heading to the plate. He will score. Run-scoring double. Seiya Suzuki. Cubs lead 2-0.
The call on the Cubs radio network in Sunday's 2-0 win at Milwaukee. Marcus Stroman tossed a 2-hit ball over 7 innings, outpitching Cy Young Award winner Corbin Burns. Patrick Wisdom homered as the Cubs ended a 4-game losing skid. Stroman struck out 5 and walked 1. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
It's Macy's Friends and Family with an extra 30% off special gifts from top designers just in time for Mother's Day when you use your coupon or Macy's card. And take 15% off fragrances, skincare, makeup, and more great gift ideas. Going on now at Macy's. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up today at Macy's.com/Star Rewards. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Out of the pistol. Justin Herbert.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Excellent coverage by Kyler Gordon, who flicked it away from
Welcome back.
Schooler.
Could you not see the highlight, Shawn?
Yeah, I can see the highlight. I saw him.
Oh, I thought no, because you kept jumping in. I thought it wasn't playing for you. My bad.
Oh, no biggie. My bad, bro. It started a little bit. Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning at Sports Zone Chicago on this House Music Monday edition. It's been a great day. Back at CrossFit today. It took a couple weeks off to let my body heal and relax. And I needed it today. And I'm telling you what, my forearms, if you hear cursing in the background, all right, it's not Ivan. Those are my forearms. All right. Those are my forearms from pull-ups today, from deadlifts today, from dumbbell deadlifts, from dumbbell hand cleans, and from dumbbell push press. So yeah, my forearms are screaming like a son of a gun today, and it's Charlie, but I feel good. You know that good work, that good sore and fatigue feeling when you have a great workout? That's how I'm feeling right now. All right, so I'm fired up. I'm excited. Glad to talk to you guys. There was a lot, man. There was a lot of stuff going on this weekend. You know, obviously the Bears were the biggest issue. I didn't get a chance to talk to Ken as long as I wanted to. And I'm really, really trying to, you know, wrap my head and give polls the benefit of the doubt. I really am. Okay. Via trade, via post June 1st cuts, something to get a stud number one receiver in here. Okay. A stud receiver. That's what I think this team needs. People can sit there and tell me the offensive line is one area they need. All right, well, you got offensive linemen now. You drafted 4 of them. Okay, you signed 2 or 3 in the offseason. All right, I know Patrick is going to play center, but you signed 2 other guys. You're going to be able to find and put a line together. Whether it means moving Borum and Jenkins to the same side, okay, to the right side, and then getting a left tackle. You drafted enough tackles, signed enough tackles in free agency, so you have enough. Okay, your system or your identity is going to be running the ball. They're going to be moving people. All right, they're going to be moving people. They're going to be able to slow down this pass rush. And who is Justin Fields going to throw to? Okay, is it going to be Jones, Velus Jones? Okay, all right. Is it going to be Darnell Mooney again? Okay. You're gonna have no other. I mean, is this where Daz Newsome finally steps up? All right. Hopefully he's healthy. Okay, and then you went and got a few guys who you signed you invited some to camp and signed some undrafted UDFAs, undrafted free agents. Are these the guys you're expecting to do well? Are you expecting them to hold the fort until you have a good first round pick next year? Ken Davis said something very, very interesting to me. You know, when you're in the second year, and quarterbacks usually take a bigger step in their second year. I think Justin Fields will take a big step. However, I don't think he'll take as big a step as if he was in the same system. And Ken reminded me, don't forget, now he's learning a new system again. So 3 years, 3 different systems. All right. So is this going to be year 1 again for Justin Fields? Or is it going to be like a 1.5? Because you're not going to see him as skittish, so to speak, in the pocket. You'll see him a little more calm. You'll see him realize, okay, if it breaks down, I'm out and running. You're going to see a much better polished quarterback. Okay? I'm telling you, every level you go in this game, the speed increases greatly. I remember from grammar school to high school, and this was just literally from eighth grade to freshman football. All the guys my same age, but you're getting the best. When I went to St. Rita, you're getting the best of the best from the neighbor from around the south side, southwest side. So yeah, that speed went up. And then when I got to varsity, the speed increased. When I got to college, the speed increased. When I got professed to the pros, it increased. But for him, because he's played a year now. A year. He'll be fine. The game will slow down for him. Okay. Is it going to slow down him to the point where how much chemistry is he going to build with Darnell Mooney? He's got chemistry, but now he's got to build it with Jones. And that was my thought. That was my issue. If you're going to have him build chemistry, all right, have it be with the receiver that you plan to have him with for the next 4 to 7 years. All right, the receiver will probably get a second contract or whatever. Okay, but at least 4 years. All right. I'm trying not to trying not to go nuclear, because some of the other things they did were good. All right, the cornerback was good. Safety, good. Even Velus Jones is good. But you still didn't adjust what you needed for Justin. You talked about toys for him. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. And that bothers me. Maybe Ken was, when Ken said, or somebody when I was talking to, maybe said when they took Christian Watson, the Bears changed course. Maybe he was their dude. I don't know how much more you liked him than Alex Pierce, because we don't know their board. Or George Pickens. We don't know their board, so we don't see where they have, how high they have them rated, or where they have them rated. Or are they saying, hey, listen, this is a pass-friendly league. The NFL has changed to passing. High schools, colleges, even Pop Warner teams starting to pass the ball more. 7-on-7 tournaments are in vogue. Some are 7-on-7, jamborees, where you get a shitload of teams, and have like a little round robin tournament for the day. That's becoming more in vogue, and you're getting better receivers. So you may have missed out on a top-notch receiver this year. Maybe you want to go get another receiver next year, 6'3", 6'4" guy. All right, they're not going to be as many because of the COVID issue that held people back. But there might be one. We're anticipating getting a higher draft pick. As we don't, I've said we have about a 500 record is my thought. Obviously we could have it. It could be a tie, but give or take 7 to 9 wins is where I think we're going to get to. Okay, 7 to 9 wins, somewhere in there, depending how fast Justin Fields, gets comfortable is in this new system, and how fast Justin Fields feels comfortable with himself. Okay, the one thing that they didn't do last year is they didn't let him be himself at times. Right, the point was that I wanted, okay, because he's learning a new offense, because the speed is different, perfect. One read, first read, second read, run. Period. That's it. Okay, you can work on going to your third read or fourth read after the end of the season, have him ready for next year, but not at the speed that the NFL plays at. You cannot ask a quarterback to do too much. I don't care how smart he is, and he's very smart. So I'm wondering how this no stud receiver is going to affect Justin's development. You got Darnell Mooney. That's his guy. He's still there. They added, wannabe Debo Samuels, Velus Jones. We'll see how it plays out. But he's more of a returner. He's, I don't know. He had 800 yards, I think, last year for Tennessee, an SEC team. But again, you're going to have those games against Kentucky, or you're going to have those games against Mississippi State and some of those bottom tier schools that you can rack numbers up on. So I don't know. I'm just mad they didn't get that wide receiver. I'm bitching about it, and I'm trying to get over it. Believe you me, I am. It's just tough. It's just tough because this is what Ryan Poles said he's going to do, is get a receiver for him. And Velus Jones, with as many positive traits and attributes he has, he doesn't move the needle for me as much as I wanted in a starting wide receiver. Doesn't do it. Tuesday starts the crosstown early this year. I'm not happy about it. I mentioned earlier, I'm tired of Major League Baseball doing this. Sox, Cubs, Sox, Wrigley, Sox Park, Southside. There's nothing like it. All right, there's nothing like it. Why are you depriving this fan base of that nonsense? Or with that nonsense? Why? I'm actually going to Wrigley on Tuesday. Going across town. This is something we look forward to. Usually it was one in June, and usually one in July is when the weekend series was that. But Major League Baseball is killing us. I'm concerned. I am concerned for our White Sox. Cubs probably, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cubs swept us. I wouldn't be surprised because they're playing free. What do they have to lose? They don't have anything to lose. Nothing to lose. White Sox, on the other hand, injured. You have a lot to lose. You have a lot of public backlash. All right, sports talk backlash. All right, because you're not playing to the level of your abilities right now. What does it say? Yeah, it did fall off. Well, here's the problem. They've never been good together. All right, the Cubs had it from 15 on. And now the Cubs are in a decline or rebuild. Last year the Sox were doing good things. The Cubs were in transition. Getting rid of players, and so they've never been really good together. Because that would be cool. That would be really cool. Imagine the Baez, Bryant, Rizzo, Schwarber Cubs versus this White Sox team. Imagine it. That would be a phenomenal series. That would even be a greater travesty that there are only 2 games at Wrigley and Sox Park in May. That would be a travesty. But that's why they fell off. That's why they fell off, Vernon. The Cubs were on top. They were winning. The Sox win a game or two. You're like, okay, good. But when they're good, when both teams are good, that rivalry
Shawn, you're gonna have to either restart or unmute. I can't hear you right now. Your mic is muted. Try it again.
Is that better?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to expect. I'm really not. I wouldn't be surprised. The Cubs are playing free. The Cubs are having fun. I know they're not winning as much as they want. Okay, they started off strong, but they're having fun. That's where I need this White Sox team to be. We're going to find out. We're going to be I'm going to be across the enemy lines, in enemy territory tomorrow. What's going to happen? Dylan Cease goes tonight. I think Kopech goes tomorrow. All right, or not tonight, today. Dylan Cease starts at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, Sox game. Something's got to change. You know, something's got to change. Let's see. Yeah, they have. Hopefully, they can put April in the rearview mirror. Hopefully, they can say, "Hey, it's supposed to start warming up. It's going to be warming up." And I can't wait. Once it starts warming up, Lance Lynn's coming back. All right, Kelly's finally going to start soon. Yo-Yo is in a rehab assignment already in Charlotte, looking good. Let's go. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. All right, Yo-Yo. Listen. Watch out for Yo-Yo. Watch out for Yo-Yo, and here's why. Jake Berger is playing his ass off. Jake Berger is phenomenal right now. He's not leading the league in this. What he's doing, playing phenomenal defense, and he's tattooing that baseball. Doesn't always mean it's a hit. Sometimes it's an out. It's a long out. Or a quick out to the line the ball to the third baseman or shortstop, or literally a line shot to one of the outfielders. But he's making contact. He's barreling up baseballs. That's the new thing. How many barrels do you get? Per game. He's getting barrels. So when you solidly hit the ball, he's just hitting them at people. Yo-Yo's there's no thought of him going back to second. So now, guess what? Yoan's in a competition. And trust me, I think he's going to get the job when he comes back. But you struggle a little bit. Or if Tony just feels that the Burgernator needs some time, so Yo-Yo sit. Yo-Yo sit. Or no, today you'll be DH. Jake Berger getting good, getting consistent at bats, getting comfortable against big league pitching is the best thing that could ever happen to Yoan Moncada. You're going to find out what Yo-Yo's made of. We know he's talented, but what's his mental makeup? Is he the kind who's not going to give his job away, or is he going to cry and pout because Jake Berger's playing well and may have to share time? Well, here's how you stop them from sharing time. You go on a tear. I don't know if he can do it. Well, I put it this way. I hope he can do it. We're going to find out. We are going to find out. This Cubs team, man, let me tell you. 9-13 for this Cubs team right now. Like, you take both of these games with the White Sox, you're at 11-13. Man, you're in the mix. See, the thing is, I don't think the Cubs are worried about the White Sox. I think they look at them as another team on the schedule. And I hope the White Sox do the same. I don't want them placing any more importance, any more pressure on themselves to play to do well against the Cubs, you need to put pressure on yourselves to do well against your next opponent. Your next opponent is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim of Orange County and Santa Ana today at 1 o'clock. Worry about the Cubs tomorrow. That's what I need from these guys. It's what I need. You see, we drafted a punter. We drafted a punter with the last draft pick we had. We need one. Pat O'Donnell signed. Did he go to Green Bay? I think he went to Green Bay. Anyway, our punter's gone. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. And in talking to Ken earlier, I'm okay with all the offensive linemen they drafted. Okay, I really am. You wanted competition? Now you got competition. You got the starting five you put out in the voluntary mini camp, and had Mustafa at the right guard, which was god awful. Oh my god. But he was just there to fill a space. You got bodies now. You got draft picks. Clemson, Justin Ross is signing with the Chiefs. Son of a biscuit. It's a Clemson wide receiver. Dude's a stud. That dude's a stud. Son of a biscuit. Ugh. I don't know how he didn't get drafted. That is one of the questions. But you know what? It's gonna this year is going to happen more so than ever. Okay, remember those players who went back for the extra year of eligibility that was granted to them by the NCAA. A lot of them took advantage of it. So that's why there's a lot more people in the draft. So a lot more people who aren't going to get drafted. He was one guy that I was hoping the Bears would go after, Justin Ross.
You're muted, Shawn. No, you're still muted. I can't hear a word you're saying.
Phone call.
Oh,
that was
okay.
the doctor's
Okay,
office
there we go.
that they kept calling me. That was so. For those who don't know, my mom has cataract surgery. There was a whole big mix-up. It was supposed to be at 2 o'clock today. They tell me I call to confirm, and they tell me it's at 10. It's 11:30. She had to be here at 10:15. So that was the reason I had to leave because so that's why I'm at. And then they're calling me. The surgery's done. She's good. She's just in the recovery room waiting. I'm like, oh, all right, well, I'm on a show. I am, I'll see her in like 10 minutes. So sorry about that, folks. But that was the issue. That's why I'm out running these streets as opposed to, in the virtual Sports Zone Chicago studios. But so that's where I'm at. But I lost my train. What was I talking about, Ivan?
I think a wide receiver.
Oh, the wide receivers. We're going to see, they're talking about him being the next Deebo Samuels. Okay, listen, let Velus Jones be the first Velus Jones. Okay? Stop with the comparisons. All right, I'm sure there's going to be some comparisons. He's built similarly. He's played running back before. I want to see. Here's one of the things I want to see from him. I want to see his hips get a little better. He's tight in the hips. He doesn't have that wiggle, the lateral movement that a Tyreek Hill has. All right, you got to work on these things. You have to work because if he can get the shake, if he can get the lateral movement of a Tyreek Hill, whew. See, Tyreek Hill can stop and start quickly. How many times did you see him catch it, stop it, shake a little bit, dip,
bounce back. All right, that's the type of thing I'm talking about. Jones could be a guy who could, again, just catch it across the middle and run away from people. The dude ran a 4.31. That's pretty damn fast. I think it was the fourth fastest at the combine, second fastest from the wide receivers. You know, looking at his highlight tape, he doesn't go down easy. Definitely a weapon for Justin. Definitely. You know, I want to see, and hopefully I see him saying, deep, go deep, go deep. You know what I'm saying? When he sees Justin in trouble, he just points. He's like, I'm gone. And let Justin go throw it and go get it. That's what I need to see. That's what I want to see. That's why I want that big 6'3", 6'4" receiver. Like, all right, dude, let's go. Let's throw it up. The guy's 6 feet. DBs are 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", 6 feet, 6'1" nowadays. So now you're kind of dealing with an even Steven, so to speak. Give me a guy who has a 4 or 5 inch height advantage with a 35 to 40 inch vert. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know. Listen, guys, man, I can't believe 3 hours has come and gone. That was nutso. I want to thank my guys, Joseph for calling in, Kenneth Davis for coming in as he always does on every Monday and Friday, talking with us, and my guy Matt Anuko, okay, from the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. They're calling and talking White Sox. Great show, man. Great show. A lot was talked about. Not a lot was settled. Not a lot was settled. Well, we'll see. You know, we're not going to tell how these draft picks are for another 2-3 years. Okay, we're not going to. You got to let them develop. I told you, Tyreek Hill took him 2 to 3 years, maybe 4 years to get to that, to get to be the Tyreek Hill that we know and fear now. That everybody knows and fears. He wasn't just the stud coming out of Oklahoma State. He had a lot of issues. The Chiefs got a lot of flack for actually taking him because of his domestic abuse situation. So I'm more than willing to give Jones a chance. I just want them to get another stud receiver. They could. We're going to find out. Hey, guys, make sure you stay tuned on Sports Zone Chicago. Coming up next, the Second City Sports with Lakina McGee and Sydney Brown. And, you know, they're going to talk more Bears drafts. They're going to talk some baseball as the crosstown kicks off tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday, up on the north side of Wrigley. Hey, at least I get to go to my guy Eddie's Output Wrigleyville. Check that out. I haven't been there in a minute. So starting tomorrow. So, listen, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. I want to thank everyone, Ivan, Elliot, Clarence, my co-host, and Ascension Maya. All of us together put together a good show, but we're thankful for you for coming on and supporting us. We appreciate the love and support. What we're going to do, we're going to take a 45-hour break, and on the other side of the break, we'll see you on Wednesday, 9 a.m. to noon Central Standard Time. So for Ivan, for Elliot, for Clarence, and my co-host, Ascension Maya Kai, guys, I'm your boy, Superback Shawn Sierra. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We are at Sports Zone Chicago. And on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Chi. That's CHI. Make sure you tune into What's Up Cuz tonight, 6 o'clock. With that, folks, I'm out.